good morning, everybody. Ben and Woods back again. 97.3, The Fan. This is right where we belong. Great to be here with you this morning. My name is Stephen Woods. I go by Woodsy and have for most of my life. To my right is Paul Reindl. He is the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Well, and to my left is Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. He joins us also. How are you, Benjamin?
I'm good.
What is
morning
up
to everybody.
there? Is that Indiana Jones?
That is definitely Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
That's weird. Somebody was in here watching. What were they watching? Is that TBS or something?
No, we have
Wrestling.
This is inside television
inside radio.
Everybody. We have Samsung televisions in our studio, and I have one at home. Samsung has like their own channels, Samsung TV Plus, where sometimes your television by default will go to that network or whatever, that app. It's some of the weirdest programming I've ever seen.
All right.
I never know what's going on. It's like weird, like horror movies that aren't good or well produced.
Temple of Doom was a good one.
It was.
It was a very good. That's
a prequel.
We
discussed that. That was a prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It was?
It did. It took place before. A lot of people didn't realize.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, it takes place before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Is that the one that has like the maze, like the penitent man shall pass?
No, that's the sequel. That's the Last Crusade.
Okay, that was good too.
Yeah,
I like that.
This is the one with the Shankara stones, and he goes into India, and has to free all the kids from the thuggy cult.
The thuggy cult.
The thuggies, yeah.
I have never watched Indiana Jones.
Never.
What?
So
any of them?
And I'll tell you why.
Ooh.
I'll tell you why. I think it was Raiders. Is Raiders of the Lost Ark the one where the faces melt off?
Yeah, scared you. Yeah.
Scared the ever loving S out of me.
Yeah.
I was young, and I
you did watch it then.
Well, for 5 minutes,
right.
And then I said, "I'm out. I can't do this anymore." And I guess for the rest of my life, I didn't feel the urge to go back and watch as I got older. And it terrified me as a kid. I was scarred.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Couldn't do it.
It totally makes sense. But that was on for some weird reason. Now I'm just looking at us.
It was the opening scene where Kate Capshaw is singing "Anything Goes" in Chinese, I believe.
Yeah.
And then it's a weird kind of way that the movie opens. And then they have a chase, and Short Round, who's Indy's sidekick in that movie, of course, he just won the Academy Award.
Yes,
this last year, Kwan, and has become somewhat of a resurgent star now in his middle aged after disappearing for 40 years. He's become very popular again. So.
Well, those were pretty good movies, all of them, really. I mean, I think every one that I saw. They had Shia LaBeouf in one of them. He played Indiana Jones's son,
kind of secret.
That was okay.
Yeah.
Sean Connery was in one or two. It was good. So there you go. There's your Indiana Jones update. Nice win last night for our Padres. We will get
it. Like everybody expected us to start the show.
Exactly. Nice win for the Pods last night.
Raiders of the Lost Run last night. He just needed to find one.
Nice win for the Pods last night. We're going to get into that at some point today. Get that out. Christ almighty. This guy, by the way, to my left. Let me strap in for this. This guy.
What?
This guy. Finish up the show yesterday. Had a good time yesterday. Great show. Fun time. Finish up our production. Benny and I go to the elevator together. We start talking about Philly. It's all we can talk about. We're excited about our Philly trip. Our tier ones, we're excited about our Philly trip. And we're just giddy for it. Going to go watch some baseball and eat.
We've never taken a trip before.
We've never taken a trip together before, really. I mean, we flew out. We flew out spring training together one time.
I mean, everyone knows that feeling of getting within the last few weeks before a big trip.
Yeah.
And, the excitement, what we're going to do, the planning.
And I remember, this is why I bring it up. And this is why we were talking about it. So one of our sales guys here was like, "Hey, where you guys eating?" And I said, "We're eating here, here, and here." "Oh, you don't eat there. It's terrible." I'm like, "Oh, God." It's where all the tourists go. I'm like,
well, we're tourists.
I'm literally a tourist. He goes, "What else are you guys going to do?" I go, "Well, we want to go see the Rocky Steps." He goes, "Oh.
No, you don't want to see. There's too many tourists."
And I go,
"Well, we're tourists."
And I said, "We want to go see the Liberty Bell." He's like, "Oh, God, I guess. Okay." I'm like, "All right." So just comes in, whips it out, and just urinates all over all of our plans. So we're like, "Oh, boy, did we pick anything right?" So Ben and I are walking in the elevator, And I said to him, because we leave, you guys, the day we leave our flight's out at like 6. Yeah. So, which means
good for a morning show. We're okay with that.
Yeah, we're fine. Which means we're at the airport at 4:30.
Yeah.
So, which means I said to Ben, you live 5 minutes from me. I'll pick you up that morning and I'll drive us and I'll just park my car for a few days. No big deal.
So expensive.
It is. It is expensive.
Airport
parking is expensive. But I said, I'll wear it. It's no big deal. So I said, I'll pick you up because I'm driving anyway because I like to land and have my car. Ben said, oh, it's nice. Okay, great. I mean, you're paying half, but no big deal. So I said, he goes, hey, by the way, I've got something planned and I almost don't want to tell you, but I've got something planned and it's going to save us a lot of money. And
I debated just springing it on you once we arrived at the airport in Philadelphia.
Correct.
But once we were talking about it yesterday, I thought, no, let me lay the groundwork a little bit just so he's mentally prepared for it. So Paulie, get mentally prepared for it as well.
I have an idea of where this is going and I already don't like it.
So I said I like when we land, that way my car will be there. We jump in, we split. We're out. We're home, not having to go get on a shuttle, go to a park and ride, then take a covered wagon home or whatever, take the trolley or the Sprinter or something. I said, it'll be there. Okay. It's going to be there. He said, when we get to Philly, I've got it all mapped out. And I looked at him and I go, you better not be saying what I think you're about to say. He goes, oh yeah, it's done. I go, it's not done. Tell everybody your idea.
We're taking the SEPTA train right to our hotel.
No.
Yeah. It was straight from the terminal at the airport. It's closer than even getting a car. You don't have to wait in the long ride share line, which is usually 20, 30 minutes. And then it's a trafficy drive to get there. 25 minutes straight on the train, straight like half a block from our hotel. And it drops off, got the station all planned.
It will be a Sunday afternoon. There will be no traffic.
$2.50 per person. We're going to save probably $60 to $80 right there, and it's going to be more convenient. It's a no-brainer. Plus,
there's nothing more convenient about
this. When you go to an East Coast city, you want to take the train.
We have trains here.
We don't have trains here.
The
we have
Sprinter is a train.
No, people don't. It's not. They don't use it the same way. It's gritty. It's urban. It's Philly. It's the SEPTA train. We're taking the SEPTA. I'm putting my foot down on this one. I'm excited about it.
Have fun on the SEPTA. Paulie and I are getting an Uber Black, and we're going to get to our hotel after what?
I just looked it up.
A 6-hour flight?
Yeah, Philly to our hotel. It's a 28-minute drive right now, 9 o'clock on a weekday.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 25-minute drive. Yeah.
25-minute train ride.
BS.
That's what it says. They run consistently.
You got to drag all your luggage.
Half a block.
You're sitting there, you're holding onto the railing.
I'm looking forward to that part.
Taking the septic train.
Ben will do it, and I will set it up so that you can live stream from your phone on our YouTube channel.
Jay says, tell the guys to accept
If you guys want to go that way, I'll take the train. If I beat you, I will be giddy. Like, I am here cheaper, earlier, faster, and more conveniently.
Is this the theme of the week? How can we save $40?
This is the problem. When you go on vacation with a cheap person, it's a massively. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. That was an insult. I'm sorry. As soon as I said it, I regretted it. As soon as I said it.
Everybody should be looking for easy and convenient ways to save money whenever possible. That's not cheap. That's simply
not on vacation.
Smart.
Not on vacation. This is a vacation.
You spend money you don't have to, whether you're on vacation or you're home.
Hey, I got an idea.
Don't spend money you don't have to.
I got an idea. Why don't we hitchhike? And then we don't have to spend $1. We walk. Why don't we walk?
Why don't we not go to any of the games? We can save a few bucks there.
There's a balance of convenience and cost, of course.
We'll split one cheesesteak, divide it by 3.
Ooh, we
can be like $12.
When we go to our fancy steakhouse, let's just split a salad 3 ways. That way we don't have to.
We'll save some money.
Who wants a full salad?
You know what? We can take the train to the restaurant.
This is like my youth all over again.
We're walking to the restaurant.
Felipe says, when in Rome, totally with Ben. We're not in Rome. We're in Philly. I'm not getting on the train.
They have public transportation in those cities. That's how you get around in those cities.
Benny, I want to feel important. I want to get off
like
the plane.
Part of the city.
I want to get off the plane and get into a big old Navigator or something cool.
Escalade.
Take us to the Marriott. Yeah, it's the Marriott. You know what I mean? But at the end of the take us to the Marriott. Yeah, we're a radio show. Standing on the plane. On the train? Have you done a lot of trains? Because I have. I lived in Chicago for 5-6 years.
The L.
Well, maybe that's part of it. Because I've never lived in a city where I regularly trained. So
Look,
that's what I'm excited about it.
If we were in one of the boroughs of New York and we had to get to another part of New York, I would
jump on the train.
Insist on taking the subway or the train, whatever. Like that makes sense. This doesn't sound.
Beatrice says, "Bro, it's Philadelphia. It's not some bougie city." I am aware. I'm aware of that. So using your logic, won't the train be full of like the dregs of the earth? I hope he gets mugged on the SEPTA. I really do. And Paulie and I are standing by with, no, you wanted it. You wanted this. Guys, Hal, this was our idea.
It's the middle of the day on a Sunday. We're fine.
He gets shanked on the train. Now, listen.
It's going to be a bunch of people.
My goodness.
Coming home from church on a Sunday. It's going to be a nice crowd.
So the thing is like Larry says, not with all your luggage and stuff. We're not taking
golf clubs.
Yo, call me when you get your phone.
We're all going to have one duffel bag. That's it, right? I mean,
a duffel bag. We're not going to the military.
3 nights.
A duffel bag. Just.
I take my Padres one when I travel now.
This is
amazing. Has my name on it. It's perfect.
This is amazing.
You're unbelievable.
Ian Hanna says, who likes the experience. He says the luggage part is the exception.
Yes.
Our rollers rolling down the train as we're hanging on. All right. I mean, look. Here's the thing. I do want us to stick together. I do. I don't want us going our separate ways. Like, I'm not eating breakfast there. I'm going to go eat breakfast over there. I don't want that. I want us to stick together. I do. I am down with the experience. I guess I'll do it.
We're very split in the YouTube channel.
It really is.
Really.
I thought more people would agree with you, to be honest. But I just feel like after the flight's 6 hours,
pretty
right?
much, yeah.
The flight's 6 hours. The last thing I'm going to want to do is go sit on a train, which is like a plane, like another tube.
Does the train go from our hotel to the ballpark district?
Yes.
That I would do. After the flight, dude, with all our stuff, I just want to get to my hotel room.
I want to get to the hotel.
I want to unpack. I want to rest, and then we're gonna go out. That night.
Rest. Yeah. Solo hotel room.
But if we can be
resting like crazy,
if we can take it from our hotel to Citizens Bank or somewhere close by, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, hang on. Junipero says, I live out here in the east. Trust me, take the SEPTA from the airport. You save loads more time than money. Traffic is way worse out here in San Junipero, even on a Sunday, will it still be bad? Because the thought of getting on a train, how many stops? How many stops is it? Because I used to do this in Chicago,
like the fifth stop. It's a pretty express train from the airport. Let's do this. When we get there, when you open your app for your ride share,
we'll check
if it says like,
$80,
hey, you're going to wait $80 and it's going to be like a 32-minute wait to get a car, or we hop right on the train, we'll get on the train. If it's like, it's $40 and it's going to be here in 4 minutes, then we can get on a ride share. Let's be flexible. Then.
Okay, I'll be flexible.
Okay.
But I thought this guy's going to nickel and dime his way through this whole trip. It's going to make me insane. That was my thought. Now, again, Dad, if you're listening, I'm sorry. It brings back memories of my youth, which is why I'm so spendy. I'm way too spendy because I had to do stuff like this my whole life. If my dad had known about the scam that our boss Adam runs with the hotels to go sit in a seminar for 2 hours to get a week's worth of rooms in Tampa, bro, we would have done it.
Yeah,
if my dad had known about that.
See, now I'd say no. I wouldn't call my dad extravagant, but he never worried about spending money for things that he wanted to do, to make it more convenient. So maybe I'm the other way. Like, just be careful here.
So your dad, he wasn't super spendy.
Yeah, so he's not extravagant, but he didn't ever. He didn't complain about this costs so much. I never heard him at least do it. I'm sure everyone thinks it, but he's not. He wasn't one to like loudly say, "Oh, this is so expensive. I don't want to spend." He never was like that.
What is Wawa? By the way, everyone's talking about Wawa.
Wawa's like their 7-Eleven.
Oh,
in Philly,
it's like their
store,
Buc-ee's or something. Like, is it like it's a famous?
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, it's their chain that they have all over the city.
I never heard of it.
Yeah,
everyone's
Wawa.
saying. Megan just said, "Bring me home some Wawa stuff."
Done.
I'm like, what is that? Is it a drink of some
like
sort?
Loves. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a truck stop. It's more of a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, it's more of a convenience store. 7-Eleven gas station.
Beatrice says Wawa's too convenient for you, Woods. No, I like convenience. Hence why I want to ride in a car, right. Even a cab. I thought when I took Bo to Chicago, I thought, hey man, do I want to give him the real Chicago experience from O'Hare? We can jump on a train and go down to our hotel, which is right by Lakeshore Drive. And then I thought, well, no, because he's 5 and him standing on the train with all his gear, like I just go, it's too much. I got a cab and it was much easier. Now, again, I will be flexible. If you think it makes the most sense, and we'll gauge how we're feeling when we get there. If we're worn out, crappy flight, delays, we're getting in an Uber.
Okay. All right. Flexible is the plan.
The funny thing is, he goes, I've got it all planned.
I did.
Because I have the stops. I've got everything. We're ready to go.
If you don't, then you have to take the ride share. If you don't know what stop you're getting off, if you don't know exactly where to go, I planned it out to make sure that if we did this, I wasn't going to wear it for the rest of my life. Then we got on a train. Then we got on the wrong connector. There's no connector. It's the same line. It goes straight to the stop that is literally half a block from the entrance to our hotel, and you'd walk right out and you'd go
half a block.
You go right through the market building and you get in our hotel, and that's it. It was like really close. So I thought, oh, this could be really easy and convenient. And yes,
Uber will drop you off right in the valet.
Save
line.
about $60-$70 in the process.
All right.
It's cheap. Divided by 3, it's like 15 to 20.
Right. It's like $20 a pop. You get a nice luxury ride to the hotel. Feel like Jay-Z when they pull up in the big Lincoln Navigator, drop you off.
Bro, when we go to Vegas, like we used to do the Uber to your hotel, and it's still like $30 or $40. Like you could almost walk to the airport in Vegas. It's so close to the strip, and it's still like $30 or $40. We've been renting a car now for the last couple of years.
You have?
No, not like for the weekend or whatever. We get a car service, like like the limo service. It's not an actual limousine. It's a Tesla or some sort of SUV, but they pick you up at your luggage claim
with sign that says
sometimes sometimes, and they like walk you. They walk you right out because those drivers, they have a private area of the airport where they can park and just you walk right there. They take you right to the airport. We go to the grocery store on our way to grab some waters and stuff. You can't do that in an Uber or a cab. And you have to wait in line.
No, you can't do it on a train either, buddy.
Can't do it on a train either.
All right. Well, let's see that we've come to the resolution. We'll be flexible. We will be flexible on it. If we feel good, we're like, you know what? Let's take this train. Now you say it's 25 minutes. That's hard for me to imagine. Because I know the one from O'Hare to downtown, it's 40 stops.
It said, it showed exactly like, you board at, 12:25 and it gets there at 12:50 at the stop that I'm supposed to get. I assume the trains run generally on time. No, I don't know that.
Well, as of right now,
for sure,
in real time on a Tuesday morning at 9:20 local time.
Yeah.
It's a 28-minute drive and a 34-minute train.
That's not too bad. Squirrely says Colonel Budget in charge. Yes, indeed. Colonel Budget. Now, Ben is a very valuable man to travel with because he has us locked in every meal. Like we know where we're eating every single meal. We know the gentleman's club that we're going to per his request. We know everywhere that we are going. So it's literally called Delilah's. I cannot wait.
The irony was just a little.
It's a little too much. I also heard, by the way, that place was Dennis Rodman's #1 place to visit in all of Philly.
This is not helping.
So it's good.
I think the exact opposite when you say that. It's a little shaky.
Junipero, who lives out there, said traffic is bad here on Sundays, especially in the summer. Beach traffic. They have a beach?
What beach?
Hey, yo, come down to the beach. Swim in the water.
Are we bringing our
Are you getting in the water?
Are we bringing our boogie boards?
Come get in the water.
I didn't think about a beach day.
What's the scenario?
Should we plan a beach day?
Yo, call me when you get your boat. Come get in the water. The water is great.
Jersey Shore.
It's so cold.
We're going out to the Jersey Shore.
He said, yeah, come on out here. Come on out here and you'll like it. He said, I'm with Ben on this one. All right, maybe we're taking the train. Okay. You got your way. You stomped your feet and rubbed your quarters together enough. Maybe you got your way.
All right. Speaking of traffic, how's it looking out there in our neck of the woods without a lot of train service in San Diego? Kelly Danix got your check of traffic. Then we'll set the menu and get ready to talk some Padres baseball here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Good morning. A lot of folks waking up to some slick roadways thanks to some scattered showers. So always a good idea to maybe leave a little extra time for travel. Right now, things are problem-free on our roads. Your full blast out of the South Bay. The bridge in good shape heading over to the island. You might find just a little gem up toward the old toll plaza. So far, your ride out of Santee in good shape, westbound 52. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we got another wrap-up coming up at the bottom of the hour as the Padres battle into the night, and I think we all agreed, and I already saw it in the chat this morning, much too stressful of a game for early June.
Oh, man.
Like every inning just felt, just
That was
anxious,
awful.
like someone is going to score, and whoever loses this game is going to feel pretty bad at the end of this one. And I hope it wasn't the Padres. I kind of felt most of the game that it probably was going to be the Padres, honestly, that we're going to come up short, but they find a way. Winners find solutions, as Mike Schilt is fond of saying.
Hey,
and
boy.
Padres found a solution. It was a creative one. They got it done. They got a 1-0 win. They got a little lucky as well. We'll talk all about it.
Bro, after like the third inning, one of my buddies on our group chat goes, first one to score wins, because both teams had left some runners on at that point.
Yeah,
and it was kind of funny when he said it. I didn't think it was actually going to happen. Literally, the first team to score won 1-0.
I have it's like a tick now. I have a tick. My new tick is laying there watching the game and just going, "Hey, boy!" Every time they go to Mike Schilt, it's it's like a tick.
I do it at home,
and I'm sure it's driving Hannah crazy because we're laying in the bed and they're playing, and something will happen. A guy will like ground out. He goes back to the dugout, and there's Schilty, and I go, "Hey, boy." Hey, boy. And I can't stop.
He was not using his friendly voice last night.
For good reason. My God, dude. What are we doing? Like, what is happening in Major League Baseball?
Need John Boy to read his lips a couple of times. Even I was quite clear about what he was saying, and it was not safe for radio airplay.
Something about
night.
He likes fudge, maybe?
Yeah.
Fudge.
You stupid fudge eater.
Yeah, maybe something like
Mother fudger, something like that. His mom makes a lot of fudge potentially, but holy cow. Yeah, the whole game. Megan says you do it the whole game too. Paulie, I'm laying there.
Yeah.
Every time they show him, I go, "Hey, boy."
every
now and then I'll bust out the, "Hey, Jerry, you want a bloody beer?" And just out of the blue, like a lunatic.
If let's say there's an error or something, to be like, "Hey, boy, you think maybe you want to catch the ball next time?"
I believe he was talking about a male cow and something that rhymed with his own last name a few times as well.
Yeah. I saw that. A bunch of bull ass. That's BS. That's BS. That's BS. So I'm there when he's doing it, going, "Hey, boy, hey, boy, hey, boy," like a lunatic. Like a straight up person in a mental institution.
Like at this point, I need Schilt to just next time we see him be like, "Hey, can you just record into my phone? Just say, hey boy."
He won't. For what? What are you gonna do? I'm telling you, man. I'm like a lunatic. Yeah. Every time Maldonado like came up behind him and said something, and he turned around and laughed. So I'm just going, "Hey, boy, funny joke." I mean, the whole effing game I'm doing.
I don't think I've ever actually heard him say that.
Never. He's never said it.
He doesn't say it.
I'm driving myself to the sanitarium, dude. I really am. And I can't stop. I cannot stop. I do it during the show. Like, we'll play his audio. Like,
it is a bit of a tick.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes when we play Padres wrap-up, you'll hear Mike Schilt at the end. And both of us off the air will just go, "Hey, boy."
I can't stop, dude. Oh, I can't stop. I can't stop.
We will also be joined from San Francisco by Jesse Agler. Got the call on television again this week, calling the win, and he will join us at 8:35 this morning. All of our regular features. Don't Do This, Take on Woods, The Ronald Report, and we have 4 more tickets and parking for the San Diego County Fair. Do you want to have a sounder to win, Paul? You got one, or just do it? Maybe we'll do it earlier today.
I don't have.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Goat.
We want a goat.
A goat.
Yes, a barnyard, a fair animal.
Yeah, goat.
All right, when you hear
he's looking
the goat sound,
Goat.
not GOAT.
We do have a goat.
I know we do.
Yeah, we've got a goat somewhere.
Gotta find him.
Woods, would you like to just come up with your own ghost sound?
Try. There it was. I did it. Good, Woods. Thank you.
Incredible. That was amazing.
Do it one more time.
All right, that's your sounder. Paulie can play it at any time, and you can call in to win county tickets, county fair tickets.
Whoa, easy. County fair tickets.
We got to get to our wrap up, though. We'll talk some Padres baseball when we come back. It is Ben and Woods. Good morning to you on a Tuesday on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place. Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Quickly, a couple of pregame updates from yesterday. Yu Darvish did play catch in Philly, and according to Mike Schilt, today he's scheduled to throw a full bullpen session, presumably at Citizens Bank Park. Then you have to wait.
Play catch in Philly?
Just play, or not Philly. I'm sorry, they're in.
You got Philly on the brain.
I got Philly on the brain.
I was like, did he take the train to the bullpen?
San Francisco. Played catch in San Francisco. Is going to have a full bullpen session at Oracle Park, and then it just depends on how he feels. It's really the day after and 2 days after and 3 days after that they're most interested in with Yu Darvish. He's thrown fairly well every time he's gotten up on the mound, whether it was his rehab start, whether it's been his bullpen sessions. He's looked good. The velocity is there. He's like Yu Darvish from everything we've heard. It's just a matter of how he feels like 4 or 5 days later, whether he thinks he can do it again.
Sure.
And, if you can't, tough to rely on a guy to be part of your starting rotation if he's not sure that he can go every fifth day, especially when you have almost no off days here in the month of June. So that's the plan for him today. Yesterday, Brian Hoeing did throw a bullpen in San Francisco as well. Schilt talked about how when they have a guy on rehab, they like to bring him back occasionally. They just don't want to bury him with the minor league teams forever. They want to make sure he gets some face time with his teammates and his coaches.
Smart.
And they may send him back down for another stint, or they may activate him. I'm not sure what the plan is, but it seems like he's getting closer to returning to the Padres bullpen as well.
Yeah,
so,
I saw you in the dugout last night, standing behind Schilt, looking svelte as he always does. And yeah, man, I'm just hoping to see him pitch again for the San Diego Padres. A, because I love Yu Darvish. B, because, we desperately need Yu Darvish. Not desperately, but these guys are piecing it together. They really are. And we'll talk about it after the wrap up, man. But I'm pretty impressed. I had a text thread going on last night, and all of us were sitting there kind of amazed at what the San Diego Padres have been able to do. Really, I don't want to say smoke and mirrors, because smoke and mirrors doesn't win you baseball games. But, man, really with some patchwork work by some guys and some really gritty games.
Also, I Zoomed with Dennis Lynn yesterday afternoon after we had him on in the morning.
Oh, nice.
Just to kind of follow up on his story so he could talk about it on Channel 10, the interest in acquiring outfielder Jarren Duran from the Red Sox. Still don't get the sense of how real or potentially
urgent.
Yeah, is this really going to happen? I mean, we know that AJ Preller is interested in Jarren Duran,
bro.
I think he's just been waiting for any excuse for the Red Sox to maybe think that they might trade him. And with Roman Anthony coming up and the team 4 games under 500, maybe he sees an opening that didn't exist, a week or two ago that wants to pounce and strike. But I can't get the sense of how this is going to work, when it would work, how it matches up. But
the only thing
interesting fodder.
I mean, buddy, I saw Red Sox fans working themselves into a lather about what they could potentially get back from the San Diego Padres. They all pretty much started and stopped with Leah Dallas DeVries. I saw one guy threw in Fernando Tatis Jr., which I thought was very interesting. Yeah, we're going to give you Wilyer Abreu and Jarren Duran. You're going to give us Leo. You're going to give us Fernando Tatis Jr., and you're going to give us another Burger or something. And I was like, buddy, I don't know what they're putting in the baked beans up in Boston these days, but Is it bath salts? I have no idea. You're not getting Fernando Tatis Jr. for Jarren Duran.
Leo's part of the conversation. AJ's going to try to keep him out, but he's going to be part of the conversation.
They don't need him. That's the last position on the planet that team needs is a shortstop.
But every team needs valuable players that are top 10 prospects in baseball.
I get it. I had lunch with our buddy yesterday, our buddy David J. From Mad Fries. We have not lunch. We went and grabbed coffee. He's got a really cool idea that it's for the tier ones. And it's for next year, and it's really, really cool. And I really want to do it. And so stay tuned for that. That's like a 6-month tease, maybe. Wow. So I'm sure you guys will remember. So I was talking to David, and I wanted to bring up Ethan Salas in particular because, I mean, you just saw it pop up in the chat. Ethan Salas can go. Salas can go. We'll give you Salas for Duran. So I asked David, I go, hey, man, no one knows more on the planet other than the organization about what you think what do you think the Padres have in Ethan Salas? You know what he said? It blew my mind. He said, dude, his floor is Brad Ausmus. That's his floor. He's going to be his floor is a really, really good defensive catcher. That's his floor. His ceiling, sky's the limit. If he figures out how to hit, God only knows what he could be.
And I want to caution everybody who has gotten down on Ethan Salas because his numbers were bad offensively early this season. Who knows when he started dealing with the fracture, the stress fracture in his back. He may have been trying to play through it like Tatis was for, remember, months last year before they realized what it was. And that absolutely could have impacted a slow start before they finally diagnosed him. And when he gets healthy, who knows? He may start hitting, and all of a sudden, if he starts hitting, he rises quickly up to being like near the top prospect in baseball.
So here's the thing. If he doesn't start hitting, he's still your next big league catcher for the next 10 years, which is, as we know, again, how valuable that can be. Is he going to turn into Cal Raleigh? No, he's probably not going to hit 35 home runs a year. I don't know. He might, but I don't think he will.
Well, how valuable is he if he never hits?
Very. As an elite defensive catcher, he's very valuable, as we now know, because Diaz has been okay. Maldonado's horrible. His numbers are horrible, and he's not particularly great at defense. He is, Paulie, extremely valuable.
If he doesn't hit, he's Austin Hedges, not Brad Austin.
No, even at his he thinks he can hit enough to be. He said that's his ceiling, or that's his floor. You know, ceiling, sky's the limit.
And Ausmus wasn't a terrible offensive player. He wasn't like an all-star hitter, but he was a great catcher.
But again, man, and you know what he said? And this is what did it for me, too. He goes, look, at his very, very young age, that guy knows how to manage a pitching staff already. And I said, well, yeah, you're not going to play for Mike Schilt if that's not priority one. He said, you know what he does? He said Valenzuela, too. He goes, these two guys in the organization are so valuable because you know what they never say? They never say, hey, how did I do? They always say, how did the pitchers do? How are these pitchers doing? It's all about them. They have taken the focus off themselves, put it on their pitching staff, and have wrapped their arms around them to make sure that the pitching staff is doing what they need to do. He said this little break that Ethan Salas is on, he said he's been, since he's 9 years old, been doing baseball activity pretty much nonstop the year round. He goes, this time off is the longest he's ever gone, maybe since he was born, without doing baseball activities. It's probably killing him not to be out there. We've seen him do his drills. We've seen him behind the plate. He's an elite
catcher. He gets so much work during the spring with the starting rotation.
His arm, so Austin Hedges is good at framing. This kid can block, he can handle the pitching staff, and he can throw.
Right. Austin Hedges, I saw Bat Dan bring him up. And while he is good, like skillful behind the plate, I never got the sense that they thought he had that attitude, that it was about the pitchers 100%. Or anything. That was not what Austin Hedges was about. So different mindset entirely.
Well, we don't know what it's going to look like in a few years, but like when ABS does come, the robotic umpire system,
framing goes away a little bit.
Like the Austin Hedgeses lose a lot of value.
Now listen,
whatever value they did have,
you don't have. But you
always need to still manage a pitching staff,
right. No doubt. But you don't have unlimited ABS challenges either. You know, so. Think about that. But again, I thought, and I go, man, because I was yesterday of the idea, if you need to get Jarren Duran, if they need Ethan Salas, take him. But I'm sitting here going, well, we don't really have anything else really in the pipeline other than Brandon Valenzuela. but you'd hate to give up a guy like that. It may take it to get a Jarren Duran. I'm just not sure. But yeah, I was really impressed with the comments I heard about Ethan. And now I'm kind of in camp, keep him. And you just don't know what they'll need to get it done for a Jarren Duran if it happens at all.
All right, I want to get into last night's game. Well, at least start the conversation with our Padres wrap-up highlights from last night's 1-0 win over the Giants right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Islands Restaurants. Got a collision on northbound 805 at Imperial. It's over to the right shoulder. Fortunately, no other incidents or accidents to mention, but do keep in mind slick roadways thanks to some scattered showers around various parts of the county. Ready for a delicious escape? The new Islands Restaurant's $10 protein bowls are your ticket. Packed with over 40 grams of protein and stacked with fresh ingredients, they're only here for a limited time, so enjoy one today. Visit islandsrestaurants.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You hear what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Miss any of the Padres win yesterday? Ben and Woods didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got you covered with all of the highlights.
Oh, yes.
It's the
Padres wrap-up.
Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort with gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks. It gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
I want to go fast, but I want to go slow, and I want to go deep.
Goes across his body, swung on, driven to left center field. Pretty well hit. Going back is the left fielder, Ramos. He's got it, but easily tagging up and scoring is going to be Jake Cronenworth, and the Padres have a 1-0 lead here in the 10th. The 0-2 pitch. Hot shot, snared by Iglesias on the backhand. Throws over to first base in time, 2 away. What a play by Jose Iglesias to save this 1-0 lead.
Yeah, a lot of heroes, pitchers, obviously. We'll get to that, but man, what a ball game by Jose. Just a valuable guy for us, right? He's talk about some depth that gives you some versatility. He got Bogey off his feet yesterday, had a good ball game. Got Manny off his feet today with Sheetsy being a little banged up. Goes out, and you know you're not going to miss a beat defensively, which is saying something with Gold Glovers out there.
Man, I think we can officially call that the Jose Iglesias game, at least in his San Diego Padres tenure, as the Padres beat the Giants 1-0 in 10 innings.
Drove in the only run.
Yep.
And made – it had a lot of action down there early, which is, typical. We're going to give Manny Machado a night off, and you're going to get worked down there if you're Jose Iglesias.
Well, let's go back, early in the game. Stephen Kolek in a jam in the second inning, and not entirely of his own making. I have no idea how the replay umpires so badly mangled the back pick at second base. It was one of the most obvious out calls I have seen on replay before.
No doubt.
I mean, the one with Jake, I don't think he tagged him, but there was at least some, he might have brushed him going by. I mean, there was at least some doubt in my mind, okay, maybe they just let the call stand. But this one was overwhelmingly obvious that he was being tagged, he was not touching the base, that he was out at second, and they let the call of safe stand. I have no idea how that happened.
Jake, when he went down to tag, his long-ass glove hit the ground first, kind of slowed down the tag. I went, all right, he's probably in there. Really nice swim move from Jung-Ho Lee to beat that. But, man, Adames was toast. He was out. Was it Adames?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he was out. Now, again, you can play this game in baseball a million times, right? By saying you can't walk the 208 hitting Willie Adames. That was the first thing I screamed at the television last night. He's struggling, he's scuffling. You can't put him on, Stephen Kolek.
Did get squeezed a couple of times.
He did get squeezed a couple times, but so did Logan Webb.
Yeah, the calls were weird both ways.
Very bad umpiring last night, which is not uncommon in Major League Baseball last night. But Benny, you're right, man.
It was X, not Jake, with the tag. Is what Il said.
No, Jake tagged Jung-Ho Lee.
Yeah, it was Jake.
Yeah. But X had the tag on Adames.
On Adames. He was out. Yeah, out.
Yes,
out.
Correct. So I'm telling you, man, I watched that and they slowed it down. And I go, man, I think he got him before he got back to the bag, before his foot came off. I think he had tagged him in the sternum then. Then his foot comes off, and Xander did a great job holding the tag there. Bo was with me. I go, see, keep that tag on him, dude, in case he comes off.
I couldn't tell if he got him before the foot came off. I couldn't tell for sure.
You couldn't overturn it on that.
Yeah,
but you
the
certainly
foot
could
came
on
off.
you certainly could on the second one.
You just saw somebody, was it for the Blue Jays? He was kind of bouncing on third base, like coming in from a slide, like he kind of banged his foot or something. He was kind of doing the little jump on third base, and they left the tag on him. And when both feet left the bag as he was hopping, you're out.
Yeah. So another walk loads the bases. Nobody out. Bases loaded. I mean, game is on the line at this point. You know, you're going up against Logan Webb. They get a big hit there. You're down 3-0. Good luck coming back. So game is on the line. Stephen Kolek. Guy has shown some grit. I know that's a shilty word, but he has shown some grit on the mound. Gets the weak grounder to third. Jose Iglesias makes a nice play. Not an easy play.
Not an easy play at all.
Got to get around that runner to get home just in time to force the runner at home plate to keep it bases loaded, now 1 out. And then gets the perfect turn. And I think Mudd did a great job of showing how quickly he had to get that ball to second in order to be able to get it to first to beat the runner by a hair, and how quickly he got it out of his mitt from third to second with a throw that was right there in front of second base, so Jay could make the turn just in time to get the runner at first. If they don't do that, run scores, you're playing from behind all game, you don't get to extra innings, you lose. So that's Jose Iglesias right there. 2 plays to keep the Giants off the board in the second inning. And then, of course, you know, later in the game, he comes through in the 10th inning in multiple circumstances. Great execution by Tyler Wade to get the bunt down and get the runner over to third. And then what a nice piece of hitting by Iglesias. As they also pointed out, not a ball on the plate, but it was up. And he thought, hey, get my hands in, get it to the outfield. This is going to be enough to score the run. Really well done. And then they've got the 1-0 lead. They bunt the runner over to third in the bottom of the 10th. Giants have, the tying run at third. I mean, I don't know that we'll ever understand how he made the pick on the play that Matt Chapman hits the ball 110 miles an hour to a drawn in
infield.
I'm not sure Manny makes that play. Come on. I mean, Manny usually does, but that was an amazing play.
I could not believe that play. That play was outstanding. Saved our ass, saved the game. Stealing a win. And when you have Logan Webb on the mound against Stephen Kolek, you don't look at it and go,
shutty.
Yeah, you look at it and you go, man, it'd be nice to win this one, but I'm not expecting much. And then not only do you have Kolek go 6, then you
5 2/3.
5 2/3. So then you unload Morejon, you pitch Adam, you pitch Estrada, and you pitch Suarez for 2. If you lose that game, it's not a colossal mess up, but it's a colossal loss. It's like a double loss.
You put yourself in behind the 8 ball for the rest of the series.
No doubt.
And I was thinking that because Logan Webb went deep, the Giants didn't have to dip into as much of their bullpen. Yeah. So they were always going to be better set up for today. So you lose that game, you're now set up to lose the series, and that was so key that when they went for it, that they got that win yesterday. I'm with you 100% there, Woods.
I mean,
that's why the game felt so stressful to me.
Yeah, because you knew
there was more than one game on the line.
You're like, yes, it's a high leverage. I thought it was brilliantly played, brilliantly managed. Obviously, the offense, guys, is an issue. You can't say that it's not. And I will say this. Manny got 2 pitches to absolutely decimate last night. He swung through the hanging slider that he almost never misses, and then he just missed another one. He's right there. Fernando Tatis Jr., not great ABs early. I thought watching him bust it down the line, though, I'm watching people still on Twitter with he doesn't care, get him out of there, blah, blah, blah. The guy was going balls to the wall from home to first to beat that out. He didn't end up scoring, but, man, they care. They're trying hard. They are grinding. And I'm so impressed with that win.
I certainly felt for Fernando because I think he's trying not to chase. So he's seeing those pitches outside and he's going, don't chase. And Logan Webb uses it against him and hits the cutter that catches the outside twice. And he's going, I was so disciplined. I wasn't going to chase on this one. I'm better. I'm seeing it better. And Logan Webb used it against Fernando Tatis Jr. as a good veteran pitcher. is going to do. He knows that Tatis, what he's been going through, and he wasn't chasing, so he saw that, and he goes, I can use that against Fernando. He doesn't want to chase. I'll start one that looks outside, throw all these sweepers that are breaking, but this one's going to cut back in and catch the corner, and he did it twice against Fernando Tatis Jr.
He's nasty. When Logan Webb is on, they were throwing his stats up last night. Did you see his numbers?
Disgusting.
If you want to get him, get him in the first because he's got a 5.2 ERA. Then it goes to 3. Then it goes to 2. Then it goes to 1. Then it goes to minuscule in the 5th. He gets better as the game goes, as he gets the feel for his two-seamer, his
frustrating
cutter.
The Padres couldn't cash in early against him when they had first and third. And they put Jake in motion, which I didn't hate, but you got to take that's Logan's pitch. That's the sinker below the zone that Wade swings over, hangs Jake out to dry against a Gold Glove catcher and Patrick Bailey. Inning over, threat over right there.
Guys, and for everyone calling for a night off for Tatis, you can't. You can't do it. The only way that kid's going to get out of it is to swing his way out of it. You just can't.
I am going to call for something.
I am too. And I think I know what you're going to call for.
I'm calling for something when we come back with more Ben and Woods. We're actually going to call for different things here. We found out.
I thought it was the same.
There are different things that Woods and I are calling for from the San Diego Padres.
Are you calling for someone's head?
No, not someone's head.
Schultz? You want Schultz? Mike Schultz head on a platter? You said. Hey, boy.
No, come worry about your own head.
Hey, come take
7 of 10.
Come take it, big head.
It's pretty good, actually. Padres are on a roll right now. Kind of a quiet roll.
It's the weirdest, quietest roll of all time. And after the game, I went and I looked at the standings, game back of the Dodgers, and I go, what?
Dodgers lost last night, so game out of first place.
It's 7-3 in their last 10.
That's it. And that's the one. It's the exact thing I looked at, and I go, how long was I in Joshua Tree? What did we take? Did we take something on toward? Where have I been? How long was my wilderness retreat? Because it sure doesn't feel like 7-3 in our last 10, but lo and behold, there they are, man. Have won, 3 series in a row, Benny?
3 series in a row.
That'll do it.
They got a chance to win one here if they can take 2 of the next 3 from San Francisco as well. We all said split would be pretty good, actually, but now I'm kind of getting greedy.
Well, when you
won the first one,
when you take it to not their ace, I think, because Robbie Ray's probably their ace this year, but Logan Webb's a really good pitcher, and you saw that last night. When you get that first, when you eke out that win, you get a little greedy. You're like, all right, now this turns into a 3-game set. Let's win 2 of the next 3. We will be stoked.
All right, first thing I'm calling for is fairly obvious, and I would expect is going to happen. Mike Schultz deserves an explanation from Major League Baseball on that replay ruling, like a detailed explanation from the guys in the replay room. Why did you call this the way you did? Because everybody else sees it as an obvious out. I think Major League Baseball still has a bit of a transparency problem.
Oh, minus the bit of
Jesse, rails on that as well.
He gets so mad.
Him and Mud were losing their minds.
Yeah, no explanation last night.
You often hear Jesse say on radio or on television last night, the umpire has a microphone. He can absolutely explain what's going on. Did you warn the dugouts or not? Because no one knows. Because you didn't point, you didn't do anything. We've got no idea. You got 40,000 people at a game. You got tens of thousands more watching on TV at home. How about the fans who are paying for everything get at least an explanation of what's going on? I would be in favor of, hey, you've got replay guys. You see that room. They show the room in New York, with the screens and everything. There's like 7-8 people in there. Have someone available to both broadcasts who can come on and go, here's why we called this the way we did. How about a little bit of transparency for Major League Baseball on this? We understand you're going to get calls wrong, but explain your thought process, because it makes no sense to us. When we have the video, did you have a different view that we're not seeing? Because, man, it looked obvious that, I got space between both feet, the base. I got the glove on him with the ball right on his chest. How is that not an out? I don't know.
Again, man, the things that they're missing are, as you said, transparency. The other thing is accountability. There's no accountability. We are all accountable in our lives, in our jobs especially. If I don't show up to work today and I don't call and I don't show up, I'm in trouble, right? I'm getting in trouble. I get written up. Something bad happens. These guys, night after night after night after night, continue to blow calls, to make games about themselves, to have quick triggers with ejections. We've seen some really bad ones this season. I know it's recency bias. I know it is, but it just seems this year they're not even willing to listen. Saw Alex Cora get thrown out last week after telling the ump, I don't want to get thrown out for this. And the umpire threw him out. And Alex goes, what are you doing? I just said I don't want to get thrown. He goes, oh, I thought you did. I thought you said you wanted to get thrown out. What? They're so quick to rip guys from games, star players from games. You're out. You're done. You looked at me. You tapped your helmet. Whatever it is. They need to be accountable, Ben, and yes, they need to be more transparent.
Second thing I am calling for, we need to see more of Jose Iglesias. And I know this is a snap judgment after the big game he had last night, but he is so good defensively. He's not hurting you on offense. I know he went through a big slump there about a month ago. Hosey is what Schulte called him.
Not Iggy?
Not Iggy. Hosey.
A lot of heroes, pitchers, obviously. We'll get to that, but man, what a ball game by Hosey.
They tried him that one day in left field. Didn't look good, but that was one day. He's such a good infielder. Get Manny, get Xander, get Jake off their feet a little more often. I think we should be seeing him out there. I feel comfortable when he is out there. I feel like he's going to make contact most of the time when he's at the plate. Is he going to hit for power? No, of course not. He had over 300 with the Mets last year, though. You've got to give him a chance. You signed him for a reason. He's a good post-game interview, too. I mean, very smooth. I think everyone likes that guy. I want to see a little more Iglesias on the field.
Okay. You're not going to get any arguments from me. I think Mike Schilt is up against it a little bit every night with just what he's got. It's the bench doesn't scare anyone. It doesn't. It doesn't scare one single opposing team. No one is looking at the seventh and going, man, if I go here, they're going to counter with blank. And we're screwed. I mean, we had Gavin Sheets coming off the bench last night, which was nice. That was nice. Ended up, rolling over to second base, but that happens. But really, if he's in the lineup, Ben, as the DH, yeah, your bench is really nothing. So who sits? Is it just get guys off their feet?
I think it's get guys off their
every
feet.
Single night.
You can rotate, not every single night,
second, short,
but,
third.
4 or 5 times, a week out of 7. Get Manny off his feet once as a DH. Get Xander off his feet once as a DH. Get Jake off his feet once and Arise, and then Jake can move over to first, and
sure.
And Iglesias can play second. I think he's your best defender at second and short, and I think he's
then you run the risk
very close to Manny at third, as we saw last night.
Then you run the risk, though, of the guy that you get off your feet will DH, and then you don't have Sheets in the lineup. So again, a little bit up against it if you're Mike Schilt.
True, but that gives you if you can acquire a left fielder,
yeah,
it gives you a really great option off the bench. And, and then the other day, Sheets is going to be DHing. You still need a left fielder to make this all work.
No doubt. You need a left fielder to make it work. The thing I was going to call for, and I think a lot of people probably share this same sentiment, is Fernando Tatis Jr. probably needs to come out of the one at this point. I don't look at it as a demotion. I look at it as, hey, man, maybe it's a chance for you to be better protected. Maybe it's a chance for you to break out of this slump. I think his slump was, I mean, somebody texted me the numbers. It's bad, man. It was like it was something nuts. Like he's slumping really, really bad.
It's weird because
he got the knock last night. That helps a little.
He's reached base in 6 straight games, but he's not hitting the way you expect Tatis to hit it.
Correct.
He hadn't struck out in 5 straight games until last night when he got caught looking twice. But I tend to agree with you. Here's the question, though. And we've debated this many times, and I know you're going to say Arise. But I don't think I want Arise batting leadoff either.
The only way I want Arise batting leadoff is if there's a conversation with him of, hey, man, really try not to expand, right? Really try to find pitches that you can do damage with. And, his damage is a single or a double at most. But that's
hitting the ball great the last couple of weeks.
But that's valuable. A single from your leadoff hitter is fairly valuable.
But if you're not getting power and you haven't been getting a ton, having Arise on first base is not that helpful because he's not fast. He's going to be mostly station to station.
I mean, he's not Diaz. He can go first to third on a single.
He can. But
everyone's saying that the clogs up the base.
I think Merrill is the guy now that I want to try leading off.
He doesn't
look at a lot of pitches.
He doesn't look
but I don't mind him getting up more than anybody else. He's got your best OPS. Oftentimes in modern baseball, you put your leading OPS guy first. Your Kyle Schwarber, whoever.
Yeah.
And Merrill is your leading OPS guy. So why not give him the most at-bats right now of anyone on the team? Got plenty of speed out there. He can go first to home. In a flash. The one thing he doesn't do is he doesn't see a lot of pitches. He doesn't walk a lot. So you are giving up a little bit of that. But I don't mind seeing Merrill in the leadoff spot at this point if we were going to make a change.
Yeah, that would be fine with me as well. But I think Tatis probably needs to be out of that spot. I do. Does anybody mind Jackson Merrill getting more ABs right now? I sure don't. I think that would be great. I think it'd be great for him. But again, Schilt is pretty dug in, and when they went through, and I guess they're still going through it, an offensive skid, guy didn't really change much. I mean, he really didn't change much at all. He's just rolling with it. And, we saw the 24 scoreless last year in the playoffs. It wasn't working. He stuck with it. And,
kind of says it all right there.
It kind of says it all.
If he wasn't going to make any changes then, I don't think he's going to make any changes in May.
And and see, Il says he coddles egos too much. He won't shake up the lineup. I just don't think Fernando's ego would be bruised if they moved him from 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. I really don't. I think he'd understand, like, hey, man, I've got 2 hits and 60 at bats. Shake it up. And with Manny behind me, maybe I'm going to get something else, better pitches. And it hasn't worked out like it did at the beginning of the season. So at the time, like, it's not a demotion. Hitting him 9th would be a demotion.
I don't mind a rise third. I know it's weird to think of it because he doesn't have power, but if you have Merrill and Tatis with speed and they both get singles, and now you got first and third, or second and third, a double.
You're getting that run in.
Rise is getting the runs in from third. He's going to get some more RBI opportunities in the third spot, and he makes contact like you want a guy like that to do. So I don't mind going like Merrill, Tatis, Arise, Machado, Sheets, Bogarts, Cronenworth. If you want to keep lefty righty all the way through.
Iglesias, right? Yeah.
If Iglesias is in there, 8th, and then the catcher. I mean, I don't mind a look like that, but I do feel like we're getting closer to the day where Mike Schilt has to do some sort of shakeup that's not injury or rest day related to his lineup. But there's really been no changes other than injuries or rest days. He's been pretty consistent all year long.
Yeah, and as it pertains to Tatis, again, running out that ground ball last night, not dogging it at all, seeing it, smelling it, that's a knock for me. I'm going to get a knock here using just my talent and my speed. That speaks a lot to me. You got fooled on a couple pitches, man. Sometimes you don't see it very well. He's not seeing it very well right now. A little bit late on the heater, not recognizing spin like he was. I love the kid. I think he's going to be fine. But again, man, moving him down the lineup a little bit, I certainly don't think it would help this team.
All right, let's see. Other notes from the game last night. Again, you mentioned the bullpen was fantastic.
I want to hear from
they always
have
been.
Yeah,
let's
get some audio
from the players. Outstanding.
Tyler Wade.
T. Wade
was sent over to me yesterday. Pretty good stuff. Just talking about the whole atmosphere. It felt like a playoff game last night.
It's hard to be a game like this. Like, what's dealing?
Yeah.
Your guys are dealing.
Yeah.
What's that like?
Fun, man. You don't want, 2 good teams in this division. This division's super competitive. Coley, man, that was ballsy, man. I think it was the bases loaded, nobody out, coming out of that with no runs. Iggy doing his thing. And then obviously Webb on the other side too was doing his thing. He was nasty tonight. He was making good pitches. But yeah, that's fun. You come to this place with a good energy and it's going to be a dogfight. And we got a dogfight tonight, and it's always nice to come out on the other side on that.
You guys obviously have an offense that's capable of doing big things, but when you are in a little bit of a rut like right now, how important is it to nail the little things? Like
it's baseball, man. Like, we've played some really good teams, and like I said, this division's super competitive, and Logan Webb's a great pitcher, man. Like a really good pitcher, and he's got a lot of stuff, and his stuff was working tonight. So, being able to just grind out one run, we always talk about score one more run than the other team. Like, that was just kind of a testament of that. Like, no one was really out of it until the last one. So, yeah.
Not a lot of fly balls going 2 starters here and there. It was a little boring out on the outfield.
No, never boring. There's a lot of stuff going on behind me. So, yeah, never boring. But I'm always ready. But, yeah, no, not boring at all.
I love him, man. I love T. Wade. Glue guy for life. Finds a way to get things done, gets the bunt down, hits that seed up the middle the game before. Guy's always in the mix, man. Always in the mix doing something great.
We talked about, obviously, the Padres still struggling offensively. The Giants are really in the offensive torture chamber.
It's pretty nuts,
and you want to
man.
keep them there this series at least.
Yeah, you do. You're looking up and down that lineup, and you're going, oh wow, you wrote a big check for Willie Adames. You wrote a big check for Matt Chapman.
I don't mean this to sound insulting, but it's one thing to get shut down by Logan Webb. It's another thing to get shut down by Stephen Kolek.
No doubt.
And, one is not necessarily equivalent to the other.
No.
Giants had some chances, but only on walks. Really, they did not hit last night. They hit some balls hard in the 10th inning. Finally, they found gloves. Hopefully, you keep them in their torture chamber. They're not hitting with runners in scoring position. They're going through a stretch that we just saw with the Padres. It was like 7 for 60 something at this point. They don't let them out in the next few days. Don't give them that confidence. Don't let them turn the corner. This is a time that you want to keep them struggling offensively because they're going to pitch well. They got a great starting rotation, great bullpen. They're
back end is nasty.
And a ballpark that really helps them keep the runs in check. I expect low-scoring games throughout this series.
Yeah, dude. And, to win a game like that, too, they got a little chippy, and I obviously, when Kolek hit Lamont Wade on the hand, obviously it sounded like a bat. to me when it first happened. I go, I'd hit his bat, dude. This guy, I almost tweeted out a picture of an Academy Award because Lamont Wade was doing the thing. Well, then they pulled him from the game, and I went, oh, God, I'm glad I didn't tweet that out. It looks like he really wore one in the knuckles. Then, of course, ball gets away, hits Wilmer Flores. Again, thought it hit the knob. Wilmer took exception to it. And like Mud said, yeah, we get it. It sucks getting hit by a pitch. It hurts, but there's no intent there, obviously. Man, did you guys see the picture of the homies coming out last night around the fence? And it was Manny, it was Hayward, and I believe it was Maldy walked out when Wilmer started running mouth to Kolek. Kolek immediately put his hand up. And he put his hand up, and he's like, bro, I'm not trying to hit you here. Like, use your head. Look at those guys.
They look like mafia enforcers
literally
standing there.
They look like the UPS mafia right there. They're ready.
Brown and gold.
Look at him. Joe leaning over.
They're about to brawl
there
with some FedEx guys.
Yeah, they're about to do a FedEx brawl. There's Ricky. Is our boy Ricky. Look at Ricky, Paulie. You see him? Yeah, he's like, what's up?
You want some of this?
And look at Hayward, man. If I'm Wilmer Flores, I'm like, oh God, all right, I'm gonna zip my lip here. It was now to win a chippy game like that. I thought the warnings were absolutely unnecessary.
Giants were mad. Wilmer was mad because Lamont Wade. Well, and that Lamont Wade got injured.
Yeah,
and that was clearly not intentional. I mean, neither of them did a great job of getting out of the way. Hey, you know what? The pitchers can throw inside. They're major league pitchers. They've got to throw inside or they won't be in the big leagues anymore. So you can't be mad when they throw inside. You can get out of the way, but they lean into every pitch like they think it's going to be on the outside corner. You're going to get hit when you do that sometimes. You can't be mad about it when a ball leaks in and you're thinking outside corner and you're diving over the plate and it hits you in the hand. That's your fault.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And he just got a little chippy, and I love chippy baseball. I think it's great. I think it's good for the game. I mean, they're tweeting it on Talking Baseball last night, like, oh man, getting chippy. It wasn't that chippy. Flores was pissed. They did end up giving the warnings. Casey Schmidt, though, local kid, good kid, him trying to lean into that pitch, you may wear one for that at some point.
So glad that he struck out on the next pitch.
Me and you both, buddy. Me and you both. But Casey Schmidt, local kid.
Aztec for life.
Aztec for life. You're trying to get that elbow in there. They don't like that. They don't like that move.
A couple of quick notes. Padres first scoreless tie through 9 innings since the final day of the 2023 season. Got that from AJ Cassavell. And the Padres improved to 2-3 now in extra inning games. It's their second straight win, second straight Monday in which they had an extra inning win. They did it against the Marlins last Monday. So a little bit better results now in extra inning games. All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, it is our Don't Do This segment. I have a usually it's something that's already happened.
Oh, you have a pre?
I have one that someone has called out. Like, actually, don't do this because it would be a bad idea.
Okay.
So,
I like this.
Yeah, we'll get to that coming up next with more Ben and Woods after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Do this, though, would be head down to 7 Mile Casino for a variety of reasons. First and foremost, of course, it's a terrific place to play cards. California-style blackjack, Texas Hold'em poker, Pai Gow, and Baccarat. They cater to high-limit players or just casual players going to have a good time in a really great atmosphere, Woods.
Yeah, in the atmosphere. Let's talk about that for a second. It's a smoke-free environment. That's great. No, nobody puffing Camels right next to you. No slot machines ringing in your ears. Just good food, good people, and good card games.
Yeah, and you mentioned the food. The good food is at Sammy's at 7 Mile. It's available 24/7. In addition to the regular Sammy's menu, you can order off their 24/7 players menu. Great Asian favorites. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. The Kung Pao chicken, the best I've ever had. It is really, really outstanding. Weekend brunch is best in South County, Saturdays and Sundays, 9 to 3. You can eat it out on the patio. The weather is supposed to be gorgeous this week. Enjoy it right there on San Diego Bay with the views of Coronado and the Bay. It's great.
Check it out for yourself, my friends, at 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Haven't missed the goat sounder, have I, Paulie?
Nope, you have not.
All right, remember, you're listening for the goat to win a 4-pack of tickets and parking to the San Diego County Fair. Don't know when that's going to happen, though. You got to listen to Paulie Reindl. He has full control.
It was about to happen, but
now I've warned everybody you can't do it?
blew
I'm
it.
sorry.
You blew it.
Don't Do This is brought to you by Trust. Maybe that was a Don't Do This for me. Don't Do This brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Dude.
Set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com. It's a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. And I will start with Charles Barkley literally telling TNT, don't do this. And by this, he specifically means the idea that they actually filmed like a pilot, a test run of an Inside the NBA show. Now, remember, Inside the NBA, farewell, going away, going to be on ESPN next year. But ESPN's not going to air it as often as TNT did. It's only going to be on a couple of times a week.
TNT was Tuesdays and Thursdays for the last 30 years,
but
and then a lot during the playoffs.
All the way through. But it's not going to be quite as prominent on ESPN. So TNT still owns it. They're still producing it. And they wanted Charles and the crew to come up with a way that they can keep doing the show on other nights on TNT. But
can you explain a little more how this is even going to look? Because it sounds so weird that competing organizations and networks are doing this. It's like us doing a show at Odyssey, from the Odyssey studios, but we're airing it on iHeartRadio and getting paid by them.
It's fairly unprecedented. This is an unusual situation.
That, by the way, just so you guys know.
So I think I'm
sure our agent's on it.
The ESPN Inside the NBA show, my guess, will look a lot like it has over the last few years. Big set, highlights, guests after the games, because ESPN has the basketball rights. TNT also wants Charles and company, though, to do a show for TNT. But here's the thing. they don't have any basketball rights, so they can't show any highlights. They can't do any interviews.
Sounds awesome.
And it would likely have to air opposite of when the games are actually on. And Charles just laid into him during the Dan Patrick show as a guest. He said, TNT's trying to do something stupid behind the scenes. We taped a pilot about a month ago. It was the stupidest S I've ever seen in my life, because we're not going to be on ESPN as much as people think. We're only going to be working about half the time for 1/3 of the time. So I think TNT wants to do something. And we taped a pilot about a month ago, and it was the stupidest S ever.
I don't understand it. I really, TNT wanted, it's over. The contract's over. So I'm done with TNT, I think, in my mind, if I'm them. Yeah?
But they still work for TNT.
No, their paychecks will still come from Turner.
Yeah, it will be technically
Not
TNT, because they're producing inside the NBA for ESPN.
Oh, my God. So they want them to do extra.
Yeah. I mean,
like
TNT is still their employer, so they're looking.
Wait.
Yes.
They want them to do
a round table. Yes, they want them
a basketball round
they
table.
Want them to do a weekly round table.
Charles, I sympathize, my brother.
During a game.
During a game. I sympathize. I really do. I feel for you.
I hope nobody else is getting any other ideas.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of ideas been flowing around this place lately. We'll talk about that at 8.
Are you the Charles Barkley of 97?
I don't think there's any question. I mean, I don't think that there's any question whatsoever. I got an update for you on the Lance McCullers story I told you about maybe yesterday, maybe last week. Threatened online. Guy said, I'm going to find you. I'm going to find your family. I'm going to kill you, kill your family. Cool, man. Very, very, very cool, because I had a bad game. Well, they found the guy. It was an intoxicated bettor located overseas. He was behind the social media threats directed last month at Lance McCullers and his family, according to the Houston Police Department. The department declined to identify the suspect or his location. No charges have been filed. The man did apologize, asked that his apology be relayed to McCullers and his family. The case remains open while charges are considered. Again, the threat said I'm going to find your kids and murder them. Sent to him after a start against the Reds on the 10th. So they have found this guy, which I love that they found him. I love that they put the fear into him. I doubt very much he'll do this again. I doubt very much Lance McCullers needs to be worried about this particular guy. But again, an intoxicated bettor getting mad because his parlay didn't hit with Lance McCullers, then threatening his family, is out of control.
This is why we have segments like Don't Do This. Call out bad behavior in the hopes that people will realize how dumb they're being and will correct that behavior in the future.
Correct.
At least he admitted. That was...
Yeah, I mean, it's like...
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't have done it.
Yes, I did it. I was drunk. I'm sorry. No excuse.
All right, finally, a little do this.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
And this is for one of our great Tier 1s and show friends, Steve Sugimoto, SDSU golfer, now trying to make his way in the world of professional golf in Japan. And he posted an update over the weekend. Says, I've successfully made 4 of 4 cuts to begin the year, but finally got my first top 10 finish this week.
Yes, sir.
Finally getting my tournament feels back, and most importantly, staying healthy. On to the next little clip of him tapping in on Japanese television on the 18th hole. I looked it up. It was the Taiheyo Club Challenge Tournament 2025. Steve Sugimoto finishing tied for 8th with rounds of 68, 70, and 67 at 11 under par. Picked up 63 points in whatever their points standings are. I mean, that's what he's trying to do. Get as many points as possible. You finish high enough, you can promote yourself to like the DP World Tour, or, eventually, hopefully get to the PGA Tour. Yesterday was a great day of golf. I actually watched a lot of the, they call it golf's longest day.
Golf's longest day, the U.S. Open qualifier.
36-hole U.S. Open qualifiers. And there were some amazing stories. How about this one? A practicing dentist, amateur golfer, who happened to grow up. He was a caddy at Oakmont, where the U.S. Open is going to be.
Yep.
Qualified in Walla Walla, Washington, and is going to get to play in the U.S. Open. He's a dentist, and he's going to be playing against Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy next week. How about a 17-year-old high schooler who's going to go to Georgia next year? Shot 63-63 to obliterate the field and qualify for the U.S. Open.
Who's this kid?
And then the most dramatic one, this is one in Ohio where they just had the PGA tournament. It came down to 5 players, a playoff for one spot. The 5 players included Ricky Fowler, Max Homa, Cameron Young, and Eric Cole, all PGA Tour players, all successful PGA Tour players.
Why didn't they qualify for the U.S. Open? They haven't won enough?
They're not in the top 60 in the world and don't have any automatic qualifying, so they had to get in just the old-fashioned way like everybody else.
Wow.
It came down to the extra hole. Cameron Young birdied the extra hole, so Ricky out. Has not missed a U.S. Open, and he's begging for a sponsor's exemption. Max Homa out. Max Homa carried his own bag all 36 holes. He fired apparently. Yeah, because it was two extra playoffs. He apparently fired his caddy. He wouldn't talk about
the day before.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing this week in the Canadian Open. I'm assuming he's going to have a caddy for that.
They said he has to essentially win the Canadian Open to qualify.
He blew it on the last hole of regulation. He was on in 2, just needed a 2-putt birdie, and I think he 3-putted, but he slapped his last one and it tapped out. He was frustrated. He would have been in. Instead, he fell into a playoff and lost that playoff.
Noted Dodger fan Max Homa has really scuffled since the Dodgers won the World Series. So at what cost, Max? At what cost?
And that is don't and do this for a Tuesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
I give a little love to the Colorado Rockies as well, who won their 10th game of the season.
Saw that.
They now have more since last May 3rd, so a month ago today. Scotty Scheffler has 3 wins. The Rockies now have 4 wins.
Yep.
So congratulations. You've won more than a PGA Tour golfer in the last month,
It's
Colorado
insane.
Rockies.
Hey, Max Homa and Adam Scott, can I get a oh yeah?
That's a blast from the past. We can talk more baseball
Max
coming back,
Homa.
including those L.A. Dodgers continuing their New York week, taking on the Mets. They also went extra innings yesterday.
They did.
Talk about that and more coming up next here on 97.3 The Fan.
First, gang, let me tell you about QC Kinetics. Yep, man, as soon as the show's over, off to the gym again, trying to break new records. And again, couldn't have done this without QC Kinetics because, when you lift weights, unless you're doing leg day exclusively, you need your hands and really you need your wrists. I could not lift anything over a pound a couple years back. Very, very severe pain in both wrists. Went to QC Kinetics, was skeptical, and I got the treatments, and my wrists are stronger than they've ever been. I couldn't be more grateful for that. So if you woke up this morning in pain in your joints, your knees, your shoulders, your hips, your back, your wrist, whatever it may be, call them. Just see if you're a good candidate for their incredible cellular level treatments. Take your body's own healing power, helps heal and restore your damaged tissue. Apparently my tissue was very damaged, and they fixed it right up. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful for them. They go after the very source of the pain. Say goodbye to the chronic pain you're living with. Live your best life this summer. Get back in the water. Get back on the golf course. Whatever it is that you love to do. Call them today. Consultations free. QC Kinetics at 619-614-PAIN. 619-614-PAIN. That's 619-614-PAIN. It's QC Kinetics. Tell them Woodsy sent you.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
All right. Again, kind of early for scoreboard watching, but there was only limited action last night in Major League Baseball. Welcome back. It's Ben and Woods on a Tuesday morning here on 97.3 The Fan. Biggest game outside of Oracle Park was definitely down at Dodger Stadium, where the Mets and Dodgers met just after the Dodgers had finished up with 3 against the Yankees. Here comes an equally good New York challenge to town, and this time it was the Mets who took game 1 of the series. Now, they took a 2-0 lead. Francisco Lindor is having a really good season.
Monster.
Padres have not faced the Mets yet. I am a little scared of them at this point.
No doubt.
Not of Juan Soto. I'm scared of Francisco Lindor at this point.
Soto is struggling.
Got the 2-0 lead. Dodgers couldn't do anything until Shohei Ohtani hit one. Just landed, hit our building, I think.
Yeah. Paul Blackburn absolutely carving them up last night, which, again, like,
got Shohei a couple times. I mean, it was looking good.
Like, Paul Blackburn goes out and carves up the Dodgers offense, which just, again, like, every team struggles. Every team goes through it. Every team has lulls. Every team gets beaten on a, you have to remember things like that, because, again, how many times did we say last week, Ben, really last week, the week before, who is this guy that is just decimating Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis and Luis Ariz and can't get anything going? Paul Blackburn goes into Dodger Stadium and carves up the Dodgers last night.
And then goes to the 9th inning. So Ohtani hits his 23rd in the 7th. Bottom of the 9th, Tommy Edman singles. And then with 1 out, Haesung Kim reached on an infield single, and Tommy Edman went to 3rd after stealing 2nd. Shohei Ohtani comes up. Sacrifice fly this time and ties the score at 2. Came close.
Almost got it.
But then Teoscar Hernandez struck out. So they went to the 10th. And it was Tanner Scott, who has not been quite as locked down as he was for the San Diego Padres last year, who took the mound.
I really liked Tanner Scott as a Padre. I love him as a Dodger. And I mean, you asked me, is there anybody on the Dodgers you like? Because you're a generational Dodger hater. Yeah, I'll tell you who I like. I like Tanner Scott. Big fan. Huge fan of Tanner Scott. Love his work.
He gave up a double to Francisco Alvarez to make it 3-2. The free runner scored, and then Lindor brought him home with a single, and the Mets had their 2 runs for the 4-2 lead, which they did need because the Dodgers scored 1 away in the bottom of the 10th.
Did you see who the Mets brought in to pitch? Jose Castillo. I didn't even know he just got DFA'd by the Diamondbacks. Had no idea he was still in the league. Comes in, he was terrible. And you're sitting there going, all right, well, I mean, and I tweeted, they're going to bail Tanner Scott out of this. Their offense is too good.
But he got Max Muncy, didn't he?
Yep.
He needed to get Max Muncy, and he got him. And then they brought in Jose Butto, who got the final 2 outs without getting the run home from third. And the Mets held on for the 4-3 win to take the series opener. It was a pretty interesting game. Tanner Scott's ERA now 4.73. It never got anywhere near that high during his season with the Padres last year, half season with the Padres.
How cool is it that we finally have a spy in the Dodgers organization instead of them always having spies like Matt Beatty in our organization? Love it. Thank you, Tanner. Big fan of yours. Now, we face them in, a week? Fully expect him to be locked in by then. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Watch Ruben hey, bro, I'm noticing that your elbow's like this baseball fraternity.
Working on last year. What happened?
Don't even talk to Tanner. Don't
say a word.
Don't even say a word to him.
Not one single solid. That's how baseball goes.
Even if he comes around looking like he just wants to reconnect and say hi to all the guys, you just walk past him.
You walk away. I remember hearing the story of Roy Halladay at an All-Star game. And he cornered Mariano Rivera and was like, hey, bro, can you show me how to throw your cutter? And Rivera's like, sure. And the next thing you know, everyone's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, this guy was already elite. Don't show him a devastating cutter that you throw. Yeah, I don't know that I agree with all of that. Like, hey, man, I'm scuffling right now. You're in our division. We need him to keep. We need to keep him.
This isn't
down.
What's the guy's name on the Marlins? Ronnie.
Yeah, this isn't Ronnie Simone, who's now, by the way, good news. That should have been a do this as well.
Did he get a job?
He got a job with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Picked him up, so good for him.
Elsewhere in baseball last night, the Milwaukee Brewers still red hot. They won their 8th in a row. That's where the Padres are headed next. They beat the Cincinnati Reds 3-2. The Tigers also hot. 3 home runs for Kerry Carpenter. They became the first team to win 40 games as they obliterated the White Sox 13-1. And don't look now, but do you see who's red hot? Mike Trout has come off the injured list, and he is smoking hot. Angels hit 3 home runs in a 6-run first inning against the Red Sox, held on for a 7-6 win. Trout, 3-run shot, his 10th of the season. I think he's like 10 for 24 or something since coming off the injured list.
Yeah, and Ron Washington says he's hitting in the 5-hole, by the way. So when you think, you can't move guys around, you're going to bruise their ego. Mike Trout, who's one of the best baseball players of our generation, Mike Trout hits 5 for the Los Angeles Angels. Mike Trout hits 5 for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So, yeah, things can happen. Things can be moved around. He's raking in the 5 spot. I think the temptation, obviously, is to move him up to 1 or 2. Yeah, of course. And Washington, maybe to his credit or to his detriment, is like, no, I'm leaving him. He's mashing in the 5.
And, Ray Darko points it out. I was thinking the same thing. Any losses by the Red Sox could
the same thing.
Could make Jarren Duran a little more available. I mean, they're only 4 games below 500, and it's certainly not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. But if they head in that direction, it could change the equation when it comes to who they might make available in a trade. So.
Yeah, it was. Hey, listen, I'll tell you, our little hit with Dennis Lynn yesterday got major attention. Section 10 podcast.
That's a Red Sox podcast.
Yeah, it's a Red Sox podcast. They picked it up. They tweeted out about it, and they said we enjoyed this conversation with Dennis Lynn, and I thought this was such a nice compliment, man. I read through the comments, and so it said Tyler Milliken is the one that posted the original. He said some more insight from Dennis Lynn on his report about the Padres being interested in Jarren Duran. Notes that it's going to have to be a really good return for Boston. Alludes to the Red Sox having their reasons for listening. Leo DeVries, not likely. Then I saw this guy, G. Wanders, tweeted this. I thought this was so cool. He goes, I'm kind of envious that talk radio in San Diego isn't a contrived soap opera. Positive sign how they're open to landing Duran. Expect to pay up for him. Would love to see this happen quick. So there's not a lot of time for this to get in his head. I said, hey, thanks for the compliment.
Talk radio.
That's what we shoot for every day. And he goes, you got it. I'll be listening if you guys if trade talks heat up. And I thought to myself, he's absolutely right, because I see a lot of clips come on my feed every day. The guy in New York, Sal Licata, that dude, the bald guy. I mean, I watched some of his takes and I go, how do you do this? How do you get on the air? And he's yelling at Tyrese Halliburton. And he said, we made you. New York made you. You'd never be a NBA finalist if it wasn't for New York. And I go, that's not something to brag about. Like they just whipped your ass, up and down the court. And you're saying, don't talk about New York. New York made you who you are. And it's like, no, you got to give that guy his credit, in my opinion. And I think he's right, man. Sometimes on the East Coast, it does sound not a little bit, sounds a lot contrived.
Is that what's expected? Just, you feel like the host, that's what the listeners are expecting? Doesn't
it get old?
That's shouting at everybody.
I want to know, does does it wear you out on a daily basis to have guys come in and just beat the table? And again, talk about a contrived soap opera. I thought it was so ridiculous.
Yeah, you don't want to be boring, but I don't think we're boring, even though it's not a soap opera and it's not contrived. I'd like to think that we can keep it from getting boring.
I think so. Sometimes we're boring. I get it. Not all home runs.
Sometimes games are kind of boring.
That's right.
In all sports, not just baseball. Interesting. Well, that was a nice compliment. I do appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, quick check of traffic. Did have some new news from that trade rumor from Kevin Acee in his newsletter as well. Get to that next here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Crystal Geyser. Alpine Spring crash is finally cleared on northbound 805 at Imperial. Now westbound King Freeway near Euclid. We have reports of a collision involving a couple vehicles. Looks like this could have middle lanes blocked. There is somebody standing in the center divide, so please take it extra carefully there. Northbound side of the 5 before Nobel. Collision involving a couple vehicles. That's over to the right shoulder. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So, Woods, this confirms something that I know you and I have both heard from people inside the organization. But Kevin Acee writes this morning, it takes two kinds of capital to be a successful buyer at the trade deadline. What do you need? Well, obviously you need prospects and players that are interesting to the team you're trying to trade with. And you also need enough money to take on the salary of whoever you are acquiring. And he says, regarding the second requirement, people familiar with the Padres situation say money is not the primary challenge. The team is willing to add a few million to the payroll.
It's great news.
That is good. And it is echoing what we have also kind of heard.
Yeah, we just heard this recently, actually.
As much as was made in the offseason about the salary cap, the CBT luxury tax level, and, you know, can they afford to go over the limits and where are they? They're over right now. Doesn't sound like they're, you know, going to wring their hands about adding a few million more before the trade deadline to acquire the kind of piece that they think they need. And they know they need more offense, probably specifically a left fielder. Whether it's Jarren Duran or someone else, a couple of million in extra salary does not sound like it's going to be a stumbling block for the Padres, which is good news.
That's great news. A couple million, 5 million, 10 million. I don't know what the number is.
I mean, it's always prorated. So, I mean, unless you're acquiring an absolute
star,
expensive superstar, I don't think it'll be that much. But, you know, it was something I was certainly concerned about going into this season. Are they going to even are they going to have to shed payroll to get under a CBT level? Doesn't sound like there's any kind of directives from John Seidler or anything that, no, we can't do this anymore. Got to sell. No, none of that is going on. But
the quote that I heard from a Padres insider, somebody in the organization, was the money thing is overblown. Don't worry about it. And I went, oh, okay. This person implicitly. And I said, oh, all right. Sounds good to me, man.
I like that.
That's good news. Great. Again, we talked about with Dennis yesterday, the window. Now you always want to be able to extend that window as long as you can. And when you have two guys like King and Cease coming off of the books, there's pressure to win now. And I think everybody knows that. AJ Preller feels pressure. The fans certainly feel the pressure. The players feel the pressure. There's pressure to win. They want to win a World Series.
Doesn't that have to factor in, like we were talking earlier in the show about the Duran potential trade and Salas, DeVries? Like, doesn't that you have to take that into consideration? The win now, like,
of course,
we're looking at. I mean, at best, Salas maybe next year at the absolute fastest rate. We're still next year.
Yes,
like
next year.
You're looking at a potential MVP that can play for several years and go in your left field in your lineup day one.
Yeah. Which brings us to the bad news here. We got 30 seconds left, but AC writes, the price in terms of minor league talent for Duran is thought by many to be beyond what the Padres have on hand after years of trades to make the major league team better.
Again,
who knows how much the Red Sox are really asking?
Well, who knows how much they're going to take and settle for? AJ's
you
creative.
Start high.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
and if it's not Duran, find somebody else.
All right, Jesse Agler will join us in our third hour, plus Take on Woods and more. Don't go away. Ben Woods on the Fan.
Man, already halfway home on a Tuesday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan, after a 1-0 tense, nail-biting victory last night. The show goes fast. A lot to talk about. Got a little chippy. Boys grinded one out last night, man. You don't want to sit through 162 of those a year, but man, I was proud of how they played baseball last night. Really, really good win for the Padres. And it doesn't mask the underlying issues. We're not saying that at all, but man, it's good to steal one of those against a guy like Logan Webb, who was pitching his tail off last night, certainly up in San Francisco. Great win. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Rindle, the executive producer. Benjamin R. Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. And tomorrow is a big day for the Ben and Woods program. Told you about the corporate overlords that pitched us the idea of another show. We got the radio show. We do a member stream once a month for our YouTube members. We do the roundtable on Thursdays. We'll be doing that tomorrow, Thursday, 2 days from now. But tomorrow we're going to be filming our very first Ben and Woods off the air program. Don't know what it's going to look like. Don't know what it's going to sound like. Have no idea really what we're doing. I'm very nervous about it. And it starts. It's a great promo. I bet you guys are excited to hear it. I bet you're excited to hear it. Because it starts tomorrow. So I'm going to be up all night, terrified and worrying about it.
All right, there's a logo Paulie has in our YouTube stream. We have some surprises in store for you, at least in terms of set design.
Yeah, set design looks great.
Very excited about. I will admit the content is going to be a work in progress. But the idea is...
we sound like every other podcast. Hey, we don't even know what this is going to look like.
It's true.
Literally, that's how every podcast starts. We're just excited that you're here. We're going to, explore the space. We don't really know what this is going to look like.
Yeah, we don't know where this is going to go.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a Padres show.
No, it is not.
That's at least the starting point. That this is something going to be different, and I'm sure topics will change and evolve. But this will be more like foreplay, but for the whole show.
That's right. A little bit, some funny stories. I think we can cut loose a little bit language wise.
Won't be over the air, off the air.
It's off the air. So I'm told though, I read something the other day and it piqued my interest because I called Paulie on it and I said, hey, I just saw something that said you can't monetize videos on YouTube if you curse. And I go, what? I go, I feel like I see cursing in YouTube videos. You're telling me those guys are just doing it for their artistic like freedom and to have fun? Because I don't want to do that. I'd like to make a little money off of it, get you a little money for it. And I said, is this the case? And Paulie said there's some rule. What is it?
Well, I looked it up. The rule is it's like 7 seconds. Like the first 7 seconds, 7 to 15 seconds, you cannot curse. Or they even like lightened up on it because the YouTube like a year ago, they were going to change their rules and there was a huge outcry like, no, you can't do that.
Right.
And so like if you curse within the first 15 seconds, they'll limit your monetization, but you can still get some
Welcome
dollars.
To bleeping off the air.
Welcome to the mother bleeping off the air with Ben and Woods. Dude, you just cost us.
You couldn't wait 6 more seconds?
Don't do that.
Just cost us a nickel. This isn't. We're not taking Caribbean vacations on this, obviously, but I want it to sound good. I want people to enjoy it.
Well, if you have to curse that badly in the first 7 seconds, there are other platforms. You can go to like OnlyFans, even though we said it's not a sports show. We could put it there.
Could do an OnlyFans show. Could be spicy. You in?
Do you want me to show a little calf?
I would love you to show calf. Don't wear shorts. Can I ask you? Don't wear shorts on this.
I've stopped wearing shorts.
Well,
I mean, this is not my choice. It's because I'm going straight to work most days.
It's only for fans of the Ben and Woods show.
It is true. Only for our
fans. So yeah, that starts tomorrow. So we'll do the 4-hour show. Then we'll go into the sound space and record our brand new show for you guys.
What if this show blows up so big that this becomes what we're known for, like worldwide? We are the Ben and Woods off the air program. Like we could get a worldwide fan base.
You are so ambitious. Yeah. It's adorable.
It is
really
sweet. Remember when we first started as a show? We were on for like a year. We were doing pretty well. Ben's like, man, I think we could go national. And I looked at him. I go, stop. Just stop right now. We're not going to be a national show. He still says. He thinks it. I like where your head's at, the vision.
You just in our last segment said a fan in Boston really enjoyed how we do things and our content.
That's one guy.
That's one guy. That's I think a representative sample of the rest of the world right there.
I don't think a national show talking about the Padres.
I think the world
golf
is craving more Ben and Woods, and they just don't know it yet.
Well, frankly, I'm tired of the sound of my own voice, so it's going to be difficult for me. But we're going to do it. We're going to have it tomorrow. Like, should we do musical stuff? Should I play guitar on it? Like I can sing a song. Like musical guest is me every month. I'll just play Wonderwall or something, or I'll play, you sing.
No, I think it's a talent show.
Well, I mean, David Letterman had Paul Schaefer there, and they had musical guests come in.
Right. If we want to get an actual, like, a musical director for our show.
No, it sounds like a lot of work.
I would be interested in that, but that's not. I don't think you're. I'm very impressed that you can play the guitar and you can sing a little bit, but I don't think the show should be necessarily just Woods' acoustic riffs.
Well, I wouldn't, not the whole show, but now we pause for Woods playing Live Forever by Oasis. I'm not doing it. I'd be terrified.
Should we do a major celebrity as our first guest, then a musical guest, and then a comedian as our last guest?
I would love
Basically, we're just doing like Letterman or Leno.
So here's the problem, though, with this, and I was thinking about it yesterday. There are some
segment. I like that idea.
There are some guests that I would like to have in. Problem is, we're going to be recording this thing like this. It's Wednesday at 10:30. So if you don't have a day job and we want you to come in, you're going to have to be available, early morning hours before noon to come in and be a guest on Ben and Woods. But, we're going to see how the first one goes.
Technically, we can accommodate our guest schedule and come back and record on different times. It doesn't always have to be recorded on a Wednesday. It's not going to be
not
released
on a
tomorrow.
Wednesday, but I'm not coming back at 4 to do this. I'll tell you that
for the second time in 2 minutes. You're a sweet kid.
Yeah, you're not. That's not happening.
Guest, I think you would.
I mean, unless it's Sydney Sweeney, I'm not coming back here at 4 o'clock on a Thursday to do an interview. I'm not. There's no chance. Zero. I'm doing this thing at 10:30 when we're off, and then we're done.
I was thinking Eddie Vedder would be a good guest.
Well, yeah, if you could get Eddie Vedder, I'd come back in. See? Well, good luck getting him.
Dream big.
So I'm going to put you in charge of finding guests then and setting that up. But no, I'm excited about it. We're gonna do it tomorrow. And then when are we gonna post it? Do we know? Maybe by Friday?
That still needs to be determined.
Okay.
I don't know how much post-production work needs to be done on the video.
Neither do I.
So
you're the video guy on this show.
That's
so
right.
You're going to be doing it.
I can edit a little bit. Yeah, I mean, so we can
I'm
make
joking, but I'm not joking.
No, I mean, Paulie's very good actually with video, but I also can edit video, and we can actually take parts out that we don't like. We can tighten it up in post production.
Yeah.
And give them a really good, tight product. I don't even know. Do we know how long we're supposed to go?
30 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Jimmy Jam says, so you guys are going to have a podcast. What a fresh new idea.
Yeah.
Exactly. Jimmy Jam. Exactly. No one's ever done this before. We're very excited about it. No, this is not really a podcast because it's a YouTube show.
You call those podcasts now.
Oh, do you? I didn't know that.
Video podcasts. There's
people don't put out audio podcasts. It's all video.
They do, but like you consider YouTube shows, like people that only stream on YouTube, like you call those podcasts.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, I learn something new every day. Jimmy says, when's this fresh new podcast going to be available? Where? It's going to be on YouTube, as I've mentioned several times. We're going to have a YouTube show. It's called Off the Air with Ben and Woods. I'm excited about it. Maybe we can get the Hawk Tua girl to come in, see what she's up to.
Hawk Tua.
So listen, the possibilities.
I think the idea was we want to do whatever we do on this show.
Right.
We want it to be different than what we do on the radio, which is a little interesting because there's not a whole lot that we won't do on our 4-hour radio show.
Can't drop an F-bomb on the radio.
We can't curse, so you know there might be some of that, but like we've played 17-minute Bob Dylan songs on the air. Like there's nothing that we're not
not afraid to do it. So yeah, we can do. It starts tomorrow. I'm gonna have some fun with it.
It films tomorrow, and then it'll probably take a couple of days.
To get it up,
and then we're getting into some sort of a groove on. It'll be the first Tuesday of every month or something like that. I don't know.
So that's going down tomorrow. Excited about it. You guys try to dress nicer, than I'm in sweatpants and workout stuff. So we'll try to dress up a little bit, make it look like the real deal.
I have my outfit picked out.
Do you?
Yeah.
I get my coffee cup with my pencil, like Dave Letterman, one of my heroes. So yeah, we're gonna do that tomorrow. Il says there's too much censorship on YouTube. Oh, great. I don't want to be censored. I'm already censored enough.
I censor you as much as possible.
That's true.
Honestly.
All right, we'll have some fun. Ooh, strip poker. That's a great idea.
Yeah. I mean, you can curse. You can't do that on the air.
Yep.
Same rules still apply. Like we can't play copyright
music
or movie clips or anything like that. Those will get you banged for monetization.
Yeah, and listen, I'm gonna we're gonna have some fun with it. I promise you. We'll do our very best. I hope you guys dig it, and if you don't, let us know. We'll try to change it. That's what we do. We're trying to be very accommodating.
Yeah, there's a phenomenon, and I don't totally understand it because the three of us are just regular people.
Yes.
As is everyone else, honestly. But when you put out a lot of content, and I was talking with my friend Matt Chinelli yesterday, and he is good friends with Barstool Riggs.
Yeah.
Going to be in town soon. And he was trying to set up some golf. And I mean, Riggs is unbelievably famous now. And he's just a regular guy. I don't know if anyone follows his content, his golf content that he does. He has hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers. He's probably more famous than all but 10 professional golfers in the world at this point.
He's got 200,000 plus followers on Instagram.
Crazy.
So,
and he puts out good content, but he's just a regular guy who puts out content. So kind of like we're just regular guys who are now putting out a lot of content. It is. I mean, you get 20 hours of us on the radio a week, plus an hour of the roundtable, plus a couple of hours, in the member streams a month. And now we're adding off the air. Is there too much Ben and Woods?
Yes.
I tend to think there is a spot where we're kind of approaching the upper limits of too much Ben and Woods. But
and again, the well runs dry sometimes, man. It really does. The content well, and you keep pulling from it, and there's only so many things you can talk about. I mean, I'm pretty open. I talk about 98% of my life, literally. And I'm like, what the hell are we going to do on this? But we're going to give it our best shot, man. We're going to have fun, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And we'll let you know when it posts, and it'll be on YouTube, and it's going to be great.
All right, still to come on the second half of Ben and Woods. Jesse Agler is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Of course, he's in San Francisco on the television call. I believe Don Orsillo is once again doing a national TBS game. They've been kind of
bummed, man.
He can't do every week.
I missed the boys together.
I think this is the last one for a while.
Okay, because if you do that every week, you're not really the regular announcer anymore. You're just a TBS guy who occasionally comes and does Padres games.
That happens. Like I think.
Unless you can fly out Tuesday morning and catch a red eye that night after the game, because if the Tuesday games, that means you're missing Monday, you're missing Wednesday.
Don's back today. He said Purple. Purple said Don said he's back today.
Okay, so he's going to make it back.
No,
it's
Jesse. Jesse's on TV tonight.
The game.
I think he's
today.
back
tomorrow.
Yeah, Jesse's calling, or Don's calling the game on TBS tonight.
But he could be back in time for Wednesday night's game.
Good.
Potentially,
which would be nice.
More likely Thursday afternoon.
Good. So we're that's going to kick off tomorrow, boys, and we're going to approach it with a fresh, open mind and try to have some fun with it.
Coming up next, though, it is time for Take on Woods. Speaking of musical Woods, he had a win yesterday, perfect score. Still looking for our first qualifier for our new grand prize. And if you missed it yesterday, we're offering basically Paulie's Vegas vacation, and it includes spa treatments at the Awana Spa, which is the spa you went to, right, on your trip?
Yeah, we didn't stay at Resorts World, but we did go through, walk around. It's very nice, brand new.
What was the one where you were in the big pools? Like I saw
that was the spa.
That was really cool looking.
So you get we got massage treatments, and that includes access to the spa for as long as you want. The day passes that they have, if you don't want to add a massage or any sort of treatment,
a pedicure.
Yeah. If you don't want to do any of that, you will win still 2 day passes to the spa, and they call it the Fountain of Youth. And they have 4 pools, like big hot tub size pools or mini pools. And there's a freezing cold ice tub. There's one that's slightly warmer. Then there's a warmish but not quite hot, and then there's the hot tub, and you're supposed to like kind of cycle through them.
Different temperatures,
and they have
around.
these huge
It looked
light
like
up.
It looked like this grotto, and it was just really cool.
Yeah,
looking on the picture.
walls like they can change it. So you're in the Alps, or you're in,
Did you guys in there?
No, there were people everywhere.
All right. Well, some people are into that.
They soaked while they were in there.
We
What
did
they were
soak.
supposed to do. And you did get a massage?
Did get a massage. It was fantastic. They have like a movie theater with like sport. It's like a mini sports book for your waiting area when you're waiting for the masseuse to come in and
look at Van.
Call your name. Yeah.
And you know
what?
what?
If I'm going to go to a spa, one that has a sports book with a bunch of TVs is kind of, I mean, the spas are kind of boring, the ones that I've been to.
They'll also cut your hair like sport clips. You can sit right in there, watch sports.
Nice.
Yeah.
My wife did her first cold plunge. She hated it, but also loved it. I told her, I was like, the worst part about cold plunge is that it works.
Yeah, it sucks.
Like so well. It works. It soothes your body and your muscles so much, but it sucks to get in there. And they didn't have, like when we go out to fantasy camp, they let us use the cold tubs. They have the booties that you can put on your feet to protect your toes.
Necessary.
It absolutely helps. You can stay in there for 3 to 5 minutes if you have the booties. Didn't have the booties at the spa. That was the only thing I would say. Bring those because your extremities get frozen.
Bring your own booties.
Bring your booties.
All right, if you
Bring
want
your ass.
if you want to win our grand prize, qualify for the trip to Las Vegas Resorts World, the spa package. Call now to play Take on Woods. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. We'll play our game and then talk to Jesse. All coming up with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Speaking of watching sports, though, if you like to watch sports and you do like to win money, you can combine the two together with Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy, accessible to all with over 10 million members, so you're part of a big club. They know how to do it. They know how to do it right. You're just picking more or less between 2 and 6 players in your lineup for your shot to win up to 2,000 times your money. And right now we are in basketball championship season. The last series of the playoffs is underway. Look for top stars like Tyrese Halliburton, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, more than 32 points, less than 32 points. Pick your own picks, combine them together, and win real money based on your sports knowledge and intuition. Baseball every day. Taco Tuesday today. You got discounted plays on the board all throughout baseball. You can check it out today, usually 15, 25%. That means win more for lower lineup costs every single day. When you download the Prize Picks app, make sure you use the code KWFN. You're going to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Really easy. Just some free money to play with by using code KWFN to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Join me, join a bunch of tier ones, have fun with Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Woods went to fill up his eco water and get his protein drink or whatever he's going to have, which means we can just get right to our game. We got a contestant on the line. Let's play it. It is time for Take on Woods. Take on Woods brought to you by Bay Alarms, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. And what we have today is Daniel, who brings his own statistics to the program. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning.
All right, so you told Paul that you are 3-0-2 against Woods. 3 wins, no losses, 2 ties in this game.
Yeah, now I kind of regret it because I feel like I set the expectations high.
A little bit, but that's okay. That's good entertainment value for the tier ones. If you can match either of those, a win or a tie, you will qualify, as we were talking about, for a 2-night stay at Resorts World Las Vegas, 2 spa passes to the Awana Spa, and a food and beverage credit at any of their 5 pools. It's the largest elevated pool complex on the Strip. To book your summer stay, just visit rwlasvegas.com. All right, here's what we've got for you, Daniel. Your choices are When Is Now, all 2-second songs, all with the word when. Self-Care, 5 song titles that include the word self or yourself in the title. And if you really want to challenge yourself, we have a new mystery category. The 2-second song, 1-word 2-second song title will appear in all the other answers, but I won't give you what it is. So, When Is Now, Self-Care, or the mystery category, Daniel?
Let's get When Is Now off the board.
All right, When Is Now. Paulie's going to open up his file because today we will play all 2-second songs. Makes it easy for me. You will get 5 songs. To score a point, you need to identify the song title and the artist of each one, and they all begin with the word when. All right, you'll have 60 seconds. You can pass. We can come back to the song if you don't know either half of it, and then we'll compare, and we'll have Woods come in and get his score. So, Daniel, are you ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right, Paul, you good? All right, 60 seconds on the clock. All 2-second songs. The category is When Is Now. Daniel, your time begins when Paul plays our first song. Good luck. Let's take on Woods.
When I Come Around, Green Day.
Correct. Song number 2.
Oh, no.
Oh, it messed up. All right, we'll skip on to song number 3.
When Doves Cry, Prince.
Correct. Song number 4.
Oh, no.
All right, song number 5.
Oh, that's Led Zeppelin. Is that When the Levee Breaks?
It is. What, we got a 3 for 3, Paulie? That's all we got. What happened to this?
I don't know. They just
died.
the way they saved.
They just
didn't
died on
work.
us. All right. Well, good job on the 3 for 3. Do we want to know what the other ones would have been, or how do we want to play this? That's too bad. All right, Daniel. Well, you're good because I can't give you any more questions. I only had the 5 songs. All right, let's bring.
You'd have to give me like 2 minutes, and then I can pull them.
We can. Well, we'll have a playoff if it's tied.
All
so
right.
let's bring Woods back in. All right, Daniel's score is in. We had a bit of a technical difficulty, so it's all 2-second songs, but we've only got 3 of them. If it ends up in a tie, Paulie's going to go to a playoff with the other 2 songs. All right, here we go. 60 seconds on the clock, so you got plenty of time.
Okay.
Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Daniel.
When I Come Around by Green Day.
Correct. Song number 3.
When Doves Cry by Prince.
Correct. Song number 5.
When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin.
All right, so now we have a 3-3 tie. Paulie, do you want to do we send Woods out and you just open up the 2 songs and we'll see if we can get either of them? All right, back out you go. We're going to the playoffs here.
Give me a second.
All right, we'll give Paul a second. Daniel, I'm going to bring you back on. This is the most involved and elaborate game of Take on Woods we've ever played. All right, you're in. Now Woods kind of has an idea of what the category is, but you already know it. All right, Paulie's just got to open up 2 songs, and I believe they're right at the beginning, so at least you don't have to cue anything up.
All right, I think we got that one.
And we got 1 done.
I think we have 2. If we're starting right from the beginning, we're good.
Yeah, we should be right at the beginning. All right, last 2. We're going to just give you like 20 more seconds here, Daniel. Good luck. Let's continue to take on Woods.
Pass.
All right, song number 4.
That's When I'm 64 by the Beatles.
All right, last chance at song number 2.
You got like 2 seconds. Need it.
All right, we got 1 on the playoff. All right,
we got
Daniel. That, by the way, for everyone out there, is When Will I Be Loved by Linda Ronstadt. All right, let's bring Woods back in. Can he beat Daniel? Can he tie Daniel? Will Daniel win it all? Comes down to the playoff. All right, Daniel's playoff score is locked in. We got 2 more songs for you. Same category, 20 seconds on the clock. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Daniel.
When Will I Be Loved by Linda Ronstadt.
Correct. And song number 4.
It's the Beatles.
6 seconds.
When I'm 93.
60!
Oh! What did I say? 93?
Oh!
Did he get me?
He tied.
He tied.
4-4. You're in, Daniel. Final score.
When I'm 93? What the hell?
93.
It's first number that popped in my head. When I'm 60.
Surprised it wasn't another number in the 60s that popped into your head. Daniel, stay on the line.
Wow. Like 69?
That's the one you always guess. You would have been closer than 93. Oh, my goodness. That was a
riveting game.
That was an involved game of Take on Woods. When Is Now was the category. 5 song titles to begin with when.
Man.
All right, we got Jesse Agler coming up. I need to recover from that. Paulie needs to get Daniel's information. Woods needs to tell us about Lone Pronto, and we'll be back with the voice of the Padres next year on 97.3 The Fan.
Gotta say, I'm a little frazzled after that one. That was well earned. That was a tie, yeah? All right.
Yep.
Well, listen, if you're out there and you're a homeowner and you're maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt, pay it all off in days with Lone Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Get cash out now without touching your low rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. Rapid Equity Loan Program at Lone Pronto is incredible. You can get instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's important. Your home's equity is yours. Use it. Use that cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Lone Pronto now. Get a free instant appraisal for your home. See how much cash you can get today. Lone Pronto is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Service is incredible. Call now. Start the conversation at 619-207-4336, loanpronto.com, 619-207-4336. Get debt relief now at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lenders. NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Take on Woods. Congratulations to Daniel. Tied Woods qualified for the grand prize drawing. Jesse Aguilar, of course, always claims that he's not much of a musical guy.
Yeah,
but
I got him.
Woods noticed, dropped a musical reference, a San Francisco musical reference into the broadcast last night.
Absolutely beautiful work by Jesse Aguilar, as usual, talking about the song from Journey. The lights, and came back and said, the lights have gone down in the city, or something to that effect. And
beautiful shot of the skyline.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I chortled because he says he doesn't know anything about music, and he's dropping Journey lines in the middle of a broadcast on television.
Outstanding. Jesse is standing by. He will join us right after our check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring. Seeing plenty of problems on our roads this morning, guys. Crash the Coronado Avenue off-ramp northbound 5. Also northbound 805 before Plaza Boulevard. Collision involving a couple vehicles there over the right shoulder. We're also getting reports of a crash on the Home Avenue off-ramp southbound 805. Accident has cleared on westbound King Freeway near Euclid, so speeds are looking better there. And an accident has cleared on South 5 Coastline right before Cannon. Might see a little residual slowing there. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
As a San Diegan, I almost never have weather envy because even on our worst days, it's usually better than everywhere else.
Correct.
It was really kind of gray and not great looking here yesterday. And then I saw the broadcast in San Francisco thinking, it'll probably be worse there. Looked beautiful there,
Gorgeous.
Jesse, last night as Jesse Aguilar joins us here on 97.3 The Fan.
Yeah, it was, I think I said San Diego weather in San Francisco yesterday. Today, though, as I just opened up the blinds for the first time, I definitely see some fogginess, a little bit of blue skies. So we'll see. But yeah, no, I mean, it was warmer than usual, clearer than usual, and just a kind of perfect day here yesterday.
You know, now that the game's over, we can sit here, Jesse, and say, man, what a fun one last night. Because
Wasn't while we were watching it.
While we were watching, I mean, it was great baseball. It really was. It was great baseball. You mentioned it. I thought you nailed it, as you always do. Early in the game, still 0-0. You're like, hey, for a 0-0 game, there's been a lot of stuff that's gone on here. You had the really weird. Let's start with the overturned call at second base. I still have no idea what happened there. They showed me every angle he looked out. I don't know what they were looking at. It was really frustrating.
I have no explanation. You're always so hesitant in my role to like really go, hard on the umpire.
But you guys, you're in like, you always leave some room, wiggle room. Like, we think it's going to be overturned, but you never know. You guys were sure last night.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those where, like, as far as I'm concerned, like, that's just not an acceptable result of that play. Like, that can't happen. That can't happen. And lucky for the umpires and the replay control folks that the Padres won that game.
No doubt.
Because, had a run scored there, and, the Giants end up winning 1-0. That's an awful bitter pill to swallow. And, I looked at it 1,000 times like everybody did, even after the game last night. And there's I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know how that happened. Like I said, I'm glad that the Padres won the game, so it doesn't have to be too much of a thing. But there's no way that you can look at that and say, oh yeah, he's not out. And that's what they did. So I don't know. I just don't know how that happened.
The irony, yesterday was the 15-year anniversary of the play that probably birthed instant replay more than any other. Jim Joyce messing up the Galarraga perfect game at first base with the blown call that they had no way to overturn, even though it was so clearly a wrong call. And that was 15 years ago yesterday. That changed baseball, I think, Jesse.
No doubt about it. And, that's one of the great moments in baseball history in terms of the humanity that was shown on both sides. And I think, everybody kind of walked away from that having a greater appreciation for the human condition and that we're all, fallible and those kinds of things. And, Jim Joyce and Armando Galarraga kind of went on to have kind of a neat relationship with one another. And you're right. I mean, there's no doubt that play accelerated the putting in of instant replay at the major league level. And yesterday, the stakes were not that high. It was not the 27th out of a perfect game, but they were high stakes. It's a big game between two division teams, who were separated by a game in the standings. And, Jim Joyce did not have technology to help him. He just had to look at it, make the call, heard what he heard, saw what he saw. And that's what makes yesterday so frustrating, is that they had all the time in the world, to sit there with I've been in the room in New York. It's a marvel of technology. The things that they're able to do there are incredible. They've got it wonderfully set up. It's really, really neat to see the whole thing in action. And with the technology that they have, for that to have been the call yesterday just doesn't add up.
No, it didn't. It didn't at all. But again, I can't say enough good things about what we saw last night from the team. And you look at the end of the night and you're like, oh man, the Dodgers just lost. We're one game behind the Dodgers. And then you look and you're like, we've won 7 out of 10. Like I said, like, where have I been? And, I obviously watch every game, but this team is better than I think I give them credit for. They're grittier than I give them credit for. And I think a lot of people do. Obviously, you see the offense scuffling a little bit, Jesse. You see Fernando Tatis Jr. at the top scuffling. And, Schulte he's kind of pot committed to his lineup once he gets in. When you're watching every night, do you think Fernando may benefit from maybe moving down a couple slots or even just one?
Yeah, I think that's a possibility. And why not? Look, to the first thing you said about they're better than you think they are. It's just, and I try and remind you guys of this, I feel like every week.
Yes.
The season is so freaking long. It is so long, and every team is going to have these lulls. Now, the Padres lull is going to look a lot different than the Rockies lull, right? So, you know that. But, like, there are going to be lulls. The Dodgers have had lulls this year. Remember the beginning of the season, everybody said, oh, they're going to win 135 games and, sweep their way right to the World Series championship. They're not going to win 135 games because this game is very, very hard. And the season, more importantly, is very, very long. And all kinds of things happen during this.
Oh, no.
Just gone. It wasn't the old kind of stop and start and you start worrying like we may lose him. He was perfect.
He sounded great.
And then just gone. In the middle of a sentence.
All right, here we go. He just dropped.
All right. Paulie's got him back. You were just right in the middle of a sentence there.
Just stopped,
Jesse, and it just cut out. You were perfect until then. It was weird.
You know what? I am not a telecommunications expert, but I apologize.
You sound great again.
No sweat.
Inconvenience. Okay, good. Yeah, so I mean, look, it's going to happen, I guess was what I was saying in terms of, the lulls of the season, and they're not going to look at their best all the time, and the measure of a team in this league is, how they manage those moments. And I think, the last couple of years they've managed those moments brilliantly. As far as the batting order, look, it's a very fair conversation to have. And, I think one of the things that Mike Schilt does so brilliantly in terms of how he manages this team is he's not going to overreact.
Correct.
Now, he says all the time, I don't want to underreact either. So he leaves the door open. But, if at the first sign of trouble, you drop a guy, right?
Yeah.
Or you make a change, that signals panic to that player, I think, or it can. And that's the thing you want to avoid more than anything else. So there's a delicacy to something like that. But look, the reality is, for the Padres last year, most of the season when they were really going at their best, Luis Arraez was leading off and Fernando was hitting second.
Yep.
When everybody was healthy and productive. So, do I think there's no chance of that happening? Absolutely not. I think there's a real chance of that happening at some point. And look, at times it's just the shaking it up. Sometimes it's just to shake it up. Hey, Fernando hasn't been himself. Let's hit him second. Let him see a few more pitches before he comes up there to start the game. Maybe that's the thing, the silly little thing that clicks him back in. So, yeah, I think there's a real possibility of something like that at some point, whether that means tonight, tomorrow, the next day, or in a week. I don't know.
Couple of huge games from the bullpen the last couple of days, but I'm now intrigued what's going to happen today with Ryan Bergert on the mound, and presumably, I think Schilt even said Suarez is definitely down after going 2 yesterday. Maybe more of an opportunity for some of the new guys, and I wanted to get your opinion on David Morgan, and as you have educated us all now, Bradley Rodriguez.
Yeah, a couple of guys who are really talented arms, and I think you're right on. They're probably going to come into play at some point tonight. Morgan's a neat story. He's one of these guys that did not have sort of the traditional path of being a guy who signed high or anything like that. David Morgan, he did junior college, he did NAIA, he was a position player. They said, you know what, you got a pretty good arm, maybe you try and pitch. He didn't really want to, and then here we are a few years later, and he's in the major leagues as a pitcher. Grew up a Padre fan, as I know has been well documented, and it's pretty cool, to see him get this opportunity and really grab hold of it so far. Bradley Rodriguez, a guy we saw a lot of in spring training this year, very live arm, some really, really impressive minor league numbers the last couple of years. And, bullpens are notoriously fickle, right? It seems like every season, we're kind of in and out. All right, what about this guy? What about that guy? Pleasant surprise here, unpleasant surprise there. The Robert Suarez's of the world are few and far between around Major League Baseball. The Jason Adams, the guys who you kind of know what you're going to get out of them. That's not usually the way it works. And so, yeah, it's a living, breathing thing, a bullpen. And then every year there's guys coming in and you try them out, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But really, a couple of super impressive arms, truly, for Morgan and Rodriguez. And it'll be fun to kind of see how their roles evolve over the course of the year.
Talking to Jesse Agler here on Ben and Woods this morning. Now, you guys you're on TV again tonight, right? Do you miss radio? How does that? I just want to check on you as my buddy, because again, you get thrown into a different, they're asking you to play a different position, right? You got to go play left field tonight, Jesse. We're down. Gavin Sheets ran into the wall. Jesse, you're in left. You can do it. You can do it very capably. You're great at it. But I know you have your comfort level on the radio. Do you miss Tony and being on the air?
Yeah, I mean, Tony and I haven't done a game together in like a week and a half, I think.
It's
because
crazy.
I had TV, then he had TV, now I have TV again. So I think, when we get back together tomorrow, and we'll be together for a while, I think, after tomorrow.
Good.
It'll be good. Look, Mud is just incredible. Getting to work with him is always a privilege, and it's entertaining and it's fun. And, he's probably the most beloved person in our little world for this fan base, and rightfully so. It's always a treat to get to go over and play with him, as I say, like go next door and play with Mud. But, Tony and I have our thing, and we enjoy it, and radio is far more comfortable because I do it far more. That's kind of just human nature at that point. Like you said, if you have some guy who plays shortstop every day and you're like, hey, we need you in left field. Hey, no problem. Happy to do it. Go and do it. Enjoy it. It's a fun thing, but it's not comfortable the way shortstop is. Yeah. And, so that is kind of the way it is. But I love doing both. There's such a challenge to TV that doesn't exist with radio in regards to, I say to people sometimes, TV is like a team sport where radio is more of an individual sport. Yeah. Like radio, Tony and I are playing doubles tennis. TV is like football where there's like 11 guys and you're the quarterback responsible for all of them. So it's kind of a fun, neat thing to do. It's just a totally different world. And I imagine, for a lot of fans, you're like, it's pretty much the same thing, TV and radio, but it's really just like totally different art, doing both. But I'm very lucky that I get to do both. I appreciate kind of being able to work the muscle on TV and, practice that, if you will. And, I think I like to tell people, and I believe it, and I'm not saying this about myself so much as the group, but like we've got as good of a group as there is in Major League Baseball on the broadcast side. And it's a fun thing to get to be a part of. Don is obviously world class. Mud is incredible. He's been at it forever. I think Tony has a Tim McCarver-like ability to break down games, whether he's on TV or radio, and it's just fun to be able to work with the whole group.
It's a good road trip for you guys. San Francisco is a great city, great food, great walkability, beautiful. And then you guys go to Milwaukee, and you're off to the Pfister. You'll be checking into the Pfister on Friday.
Pfister? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, one of our favorite places. Great hotel. You brought me a pen last year. I'll take another one or anything else you can find with the Pfister logo.
I'll see what they have. It is a great road trip city-wise. No day off though.
No day off.
The stretch here a little bit different. Yeah. So no real time to get out and fully enjoy it, but get a run in today in San Francisco by the Embarcadero.
That sounds terrible.
And
just horrific. Why don't you go
listen to some Journey?
Listen to some Journey. Get a clam chowder
in
bread
a sourdough bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
No. That's an off day.
Running.
No, run down. No, here's what you do. You run down there. Run. And then you eat your bowl, and then you run back with a belly full of hot clam chowder. How's that sound?
Yeah, I don't know how much running you do, but that's not a recipe for success.
All right, try. Listen, we're not doing the Incorporator.
It's very hilly there.
It is very hilly. We're not doing the Incorporator because you're on TV, and TV's fancy, and radio's not. I get it. But I loved your Journey reference last night. Maybe you work another one in tonight. Just say it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay,
I don't know anything about music.
I heard that's what you say, and then you work this beautiful.
Yeah, I think like Journey is some like indie garage band.
It's not, but for you, it sounds like you're like I never listen to music ever. You're just listening to like CIA podcasts and doing like math problems in your hotel room, and to hear you bust that out, yeah, Sudoku, and he just busted out last night. I loved it very much.
Glad you liked it.
All right, buddy, have fun. We'll talk to you after your time at the Pfister.
Sounds good. We'll speak after I get back from Milwaukee.
All right, Dodgers next Tuesday. Finally. Jesse Agler, voice of the Padres. You can watch him on television tonight. We'll have the game for you with Scan and Tony. 6:45 first pitch, 5:45 Eco Water SoCal pregame.
Too bad we already used troglodyte last year because we could absolutely do that for the Dodgers series.
We are down to 1 hour left. Ryan will report and more coming up on The Fan. Jesse Agler joining us from San Francisco, the city by the bay, the city that never sleeps. I don't know if that's really true, but that's what they say in the song. Not Journey. That's Jefferson or just Starship. We built this city on rock and roll.
When do they say it never sleeps?
The helicopter guy when he's doing the traffic. The city by the bay, the city that never sleeps.
That's fair enough. Yeah,
the Sunshine City.
The Sunshine City, as many call it.
I forgot. I was going to ask Jesse, but I'll ask you guys. Same question applies. What kind of game do you prefer? A well-played, crisp 0-0 going to extra innings, or a little sloppier but maybe back and forth 8-7 game that's still dramatic but lots of lead changes and lots of offense?
8-7.
You want excitement. I mean, I don't think there's anything more tense than last night's game.
Tense is not exciting.
Yeah.
Tense is different from exciting.
Let me think for a second. All right. If I'm watching a game that I don't care about the outcome at all, I'm watching a playoff game, right? And it's Phillies against the Dodgers, and it's Aaron Nola against Yamamoto. I don't really care about that. All right, fine. That's a bad example. Paulie, damn it. All right. If I'm watching the Guardians
Mariners
in the playoffs, and it's game one, and it is, the guys are duking it out, and it's 0-0. I'm down for a playoff game that is 0-0. I'm into it. And an 8-7 playoff game between those two teams that are banging it around. That's pretty fun too. But I don't mind if my team's involved and it's 0-0 and it's extra innings. I'm a wreck. I was a wreck last night, man. Straight up, I was sweating like it was terrible.
You can have 8-7 without necessarily being sloppy.
No,
true.
I agree, but
I like some scoring, man. And I know that sounds like a casual answer.
It does,
but
and I love baseball too.
I get that if you've got two dominant pitchers and the offenses can't do anything, though, that can get a little dull. It's just one.
It's
1, 2, 3,
it's cool
1, 2,
to
3.
watch those guys dominate.
It's cool to watch them work, but it also sometimes looks like your offenses are just
that
impotent, not able to do anything.
Correct. Context, I think, is important. When you've been scuffling for a couple of weeks now offensively, you don't want a 0-0
But I thought yesterday's game for 0-0 had a lot of intrigue.
It did.
I mean, there were chances to score. Guys had
balls
to
hit hard,
pitch out of tough situations. There were good defensive plays. There was one error. It was the Adames throw when it was the infield single, and then he got to second on the throw, I believe. But that was the only error. Weren't like mental mistake. I thought it was a well played game by both teams. There were a few too many walks on the Padres side, but a lot of close pitches, borderline getting squeezed a couple of times that I think contributed to that. Webb truly was very good.
He was great.
But the Padres had some chances against him, especially early, couldn't come through with runners in scoring position. I thought that was a really good example of a tense, low-scoring baseball game.
Well, and again, like I said to Jesse, phenomenal game because we won it. If we had lost that game, I would have been gutted, and we would have been coming in here lamenting the fact that, you had opportunities, you didn't get it. So, yeah, it's great to come out on the winning side of a game like that. Once it's over, yes, I can fully admit once it's over and we win 1-0 in extra innings, great game, phenomenal game. So impressed by the guys. They were so gritty, right? But, man, today I'm not going to mind to see a 6-4 win or a 7-4 win. Those are good too. It all depends. Context is important, as Paulie said. It all depends on who you're watching play. I love a good, well-pitched baseball game as much as the next guy. When it's your guys and your offense they're not performing as well as they should, those games are dicey, man. They're dicey on your mentals. I was anxious as snacking, just eating pita chips out of the bag, just dying.
I don't even know what time the game ended. It wasn't that late. It was like 9:30, maybe 9:45.
I was hyped.
You always prefer a win. I mean, you prefer a poorly played.
Yeah, don't care.
9-8 win over a well-played 3-2 loss. I get that, but they're not all going to be wins. Nothing you hate more than a game like the one that they lost to the Marlins, where you blow a big lead. It's the worst. That to me is the worst. Now that game was close. It was back and forth. It was very exciting. I don't like that game as much though, and it's not just because they lost. I mean the comeback the day before the Padres was very exciting. But I don't know that that's my favorite kind of game either. I liked last night's game, the way it just kind of unfolded. Lots of tension, lots of drama. And sure, if they had lost, Man, that would have been hard to take. It would have been hard to take. I don't know that it would have been an unfair outcome, though. I think the Giants deserve to win that game.
No doubt.
As much as the Padres deserve to win it. And in baseball, you don't always win the games you deserve to win. I'm not saying the Padres deserve to lose either, but I snap my fingers, and the tiniest thing changes both ways, and the Giants win that game. The tiniest thing changes, and the Giants win.
They had first and the bases loaded. 1 out? No out.
No outs.
No outs. Bases loaded,
inning.
no outs in the second inning. There's no and Kolek struggling to find the zone on no planet. Now on KNBR, is that the station in San Francisco? Is that right? This morning, they're livid. They are livid, and for good reason. They had plenty of chances to get to Stephen Kolek with their ace on the mound and didn't. So you stole that one.
Speaking of that situation, we talked about it earlier in the great double play that Jose Iglesias turned after he got the first out at home plate. Well, he went into a little more detail this morning in Kevin Acey's newsletter, because after he got the force at home, he had to make a split decision. He said, I thought about going home again and trying to get that run, but my internal clock told me we had just enough time to turn the double play. Think about how quickly you have to make that decision, because if you decide to turn the double play and you are wrong, they have scored a run. Now, it's not the end of the world. You get an out, they get a run. There's still a lot of time left in the game, but as it turned out, would have been the difference in the game right there. Padres didn't score. They would have lost 1-0 in regulation. But his clock in the fraction of a second as that ball is hopping toward him off the bat, whatever, probably like a 95-mile-an-hour grounder that's hopping toward him. He thinks, okay, I have enough time to get it to second. If I throw it perfectly and Jake makes the perfect throw, we're going to get this guy. Think about the batter's speed has got to factor into that, where Jake is, the positioning, how easy is that throw home if I go that direction. But then Kolek's obviously got to get one more out. We're still living, on walking the tightrope with the bases loaded and 2 outs. If I go home, let's see if I can get us out of this inning. And he made the right call by
great call,
just a hair, just a fraction of a hair.
Yeah, man.
Almost thought they were going to challenge it, but
he got him. I mean, but like you said, it was by a hair. That. Manny does that all the time. The assuredness of where to go, but to have a guy that can come in and fill in like that last night and have the game that he did, brilliant. Good call by Schulte to give Manny a night off and get Jose in there, right? Like, what are the odds that he's going to get 12 chances last night and they're all going to be huge?
And you're right. Manny makes a lot of those plays as well. He's got an incredible internal clock, maybe the best in baseball, just of thinking of how much time he's got to do everything. But I was incredibly impressed by Jose Iglesias last night.
Incredibly impressed.
Curtis says WAR doesn't work this way, but Iglesias was worth 1.0 WAR.
100%. If that's how WAR should work. He won you that game last night. Let's give him a 1. Yeah, he won you that game. He drove in the winning run.
Yeah, if at the end of the year his WAR is like 0.6, I will call BS.
You round it up.
It has to at least be 1.
He won you a game. Straight up.
Unless he loses us a game single-handedly.
Replacement player, you lose that game.
Correct.
Jose Iglesias, you win that game. 1 WAR right there.
Yeah.
I love the player that he was replacing, by the way, was Manny Machado.
Yeah, exactly. So it was awesome, man. It was an awesome performance by him. And again, no quit in the guys last night at all. Tough customer in Logan Webb, tough customer in that bullpen as well. Was pretty nasty at the end of the game. Ryan Walker and the other cat, really, really good. What's his name?
Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's filthy.
That was pretty.
Randy
Rodriguez. Yeah, Jesse brought it up. The only runs he's given up all year were on Xander Bogaerts' 2-run homer. How about that?
His ERA is .68. He's got 38 Ks in 26.
Xander squared him up again last night.
He did. It is hard to center.
Right at the center fielder.
Yeah, for whatever reason, he sees Randy Rodriguez really well.
No one else in baseball.
Nobody else in baseball. Man, that was good. That was a good win.
So I don't know if we'll get the same kind of pitching matchup today. Obviously, both teams are struggling offensively, which usually pitchers will lick their chops, but it's not marquee names. The Padres will be making a spot start here with Ryan Bergert. In fact, it'll be his first career major league start after coming up before, and he pitched 4 innings out of the bullpen for the Padres. Well, too. 4 innings, 2 hits, no runs, or 1 hit, no runs, 2 strikeouts in his 4 innings. So he's had a taste of the big leagues, but this will be the first time he starts. He pitched last Wednesday for El Paso, I think 4 shutout innings, and now he's up. He was with the team yesterday, and he's ready to go. He's getting the ball tonight, and I would think that Mike Schilt and Ruben Niebla are hoping he can give you a little length with the bullpen having been used strenuously, and you'll have to have guys like Sean Reynolds and David Morgan and Bradley Rodriguez potentially ready to pick up slack for a game tonight, because you can't use your high end back end of the bullpen arms every single night. And it'll be Landon Rope.
We did this last time.
We did again.
Rope.
Going for the Giants. Did face him last time, and the Padres got the win against him.
Got him good. Hit him
in that 2-game series.
7 hits, 4 earned runs off of him against the Padres in April. So yeah, this is a game that you feel like, hey, we stole one last night. Let's go out and beat this kid today. It's going to be dependent on what Ryan Bergert's able to do. Again, you're going to have guys in your bullpen, Benny, that are your next tier is a nice way to put it. It's the next tier of guys will be ready to go tonight. The Wandy Peraltas of the world, the David Morgan, Sean Reynolds, Bradley Rodriguez, and Yuki Matsui.
You're hoping for some length out of Berger
and girth of
always
from you want the length and the girth from the starting pitcher.
It's ideal if you can get both.
You can get both. Not everybody has both.
No.
Not everybody has either.
Some guys are just length. Some guys are just girth. Some guys are neither.
Some guys are neither. Yeah.
Padres. I mean, they're not. It's not the stretch where they scored 1, 1, 1, 0, and 0. Now it's kind of back and forth. You look at like the last 10, 5, 4, 8, 8, 3, 0, 6, 1. I mean, there's some offense there. They're not in dire straits, but they certainly don't feel like they're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, when your leadoff hitter is mired in a pretty terrible slump.
Well, like you said, take him out of the leadoff spot.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, you don't tell me. Why don't you text Schulte and ask him?
Hey,
boy, you try to die? He will kill you. He would kill you with his bare hands.
Walks into the clubhouse. All right, boys. Ben Higgins got the lineup today.
It'd be a fun bit if he let us make it one time. I think that's not too much to ask. Much work as we put in.
I'm sure every market does that with their local radio show.
I actually had a really funny idea yesterday. I was watching the game last night, and I saw a couple of plays that happened, and I went, people overreacting to them potentially on Twitter, whether, it was like a ground ball out of somebody's reach. Oh, you got to get dirty for that. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny, Ben? Because I just read a story. Sam Blum went out and did a whole workout with Ron Washington, right? Full workout, right?
I didn't read it, but I saw that he did this.
Brilliant. And I thought to myself, Padres, Eric Grupner, if you're listening, I got a great bit for you. Why don't you have all the media hacks out there? And you could even invite fans. Hit them ground balls. See what they look like doing it. Let them take a few swings off of, call it 75. See how they do.
Pick some of your favorite
critics. Some of your favorite critics. Bring them out and go, hey, man, take a hack. Hey, hit the cutoff, man. Go catch this fly ball. Just a nice, easy fly ball to right. Maybe you'll have a little bit better perspective.
I love that.
Turn this ground ball. Turn this double play real quick. I was laughing to myself in the kitchen of thinking about us out there, Schulte at home plate with a fungo. All right, boy, you ready? Whack! And just pounding ground balls at us, watching us make terrible plays. And I go, man, I wish they would set that up because that would be so much fun.
Did you mention the idea that you threw out to us this weekend? We can't do it because I'm not going to be here.
Oh, yes.
I'm not totally opposed to the idea.
So got a DM from somebody on Twitter that said, hey, Woodsy, have you ever played OTL? And I said, strangely enough, I haven't. Over the line. San Diego institution. She said they're bringing back media games. And I said, oh. So I texted the fellas. I go, guys, should we do this? And you said I would do it. And you said, I'll probably be the reason we lose. Now, I don't know enough about it to know maybe you'd be an excellent pitcher.
Well, I know the rules. Yeah, I'm sure I could, but yeah, you can't. I mean, everyone has to hit, everyone has to field. It's a 3-man team.
I think you could hit. It's underhand.
Well, you make contact, but there's a skill of hitting. You have to hit it far enough to get it over the line.
Dang it.
You can't hit it too high or it'll be an easy out for the other team. So you have to, there's a specific style of hitting you have to kind of implement.
I've been playing baseball my whole life.
You could do it.
But I don't know how to hit an OTL. I have no idea. You know, I have no clue the best way to do it.
I've gone out there a few
I've never
times
been
and
down
seen
there.
it. I've been down there a few times and covered it and done radio shows down there. And a certain stroke, you got it's a short.
I feel like you could do
popping
it.
Stroke.
I feel like
the tough part's the defense, though, because the true OTL players do it without a glove.
Well, yeah, you have to, right?
You don't have to. You can media division, you can wear gloves. Certain
really?
divisions you can wear gloves. Championship you don't, but you could. You kind of look weak if you're wearing gloves. So you got to go barehanded. Balls they're softballs, but they're not easy to catch barehanded. Right. And you got the guy who plays at front who's looking at all the line drives. That sucks because you got if you're playing a good team and they're hitting line drives right at you barehanded, that's no fun. Then you got the guy in the back. You can't let a ball get over your head. That's a home run. That's where if you get it over the head of the last guy, that's a home run. Clears the quote unquote bases.
You're out of town.
The media weekend. Yeah, I'm gone all weekend. So
it's July. I believe it's July 13th.
So it'll be Woods, me, and Jake Garinani.
Go ahead if you guys want to play. I think you'd have a lot of fun.
How about me, you, and Tony Gwynn Jr.?
Done.
We're gonna get Padres have Padres have a day game that day, so he's out.
Oh, crap.
That means Jake's probably out. All the news guys.
That's a weekend. He might be off.
Maybe. But here's the thing. I'm leaving later that week for England, and I'm sure the missus would love me to take a Sunday off to go out and play OTL. The entire Sunday as I'm leaving for a few days. But I think it would be fun. Maybe next year we try to, if they do media day again, we'll get on it for sure.
Yeah.
But as long as it's not around.
Maybe we'd do a little training maybe at some point if we were going to put ourselves in front of all the people.
Adam heard it. He said, I've never done this. Sounds fun. Live broadcast. I don't want Adam on our team.
Oh, no.
He's going to kill us. He's going to kill us. Us two in a tier one. I don't think the missus is going to give me a pass, to be honest.
It's a pretty wild scene out on Fiesta Island every year.
I don't really like a wild scene as much as I used to. I'd like a more tame scene.
Really?
Yeah, I really don't. Not like I used to. We've come up with a funny name,
There's a Mardi Gras.
Fister absolutely would be great.
There are,
Fister, yeah, absolutely.
Dirty team names.
Adam, I don't want to broadcast live on a Sunday. Quit asking me.
Kind of
please.
A Mardi Gras.
We do enough. We do enough.
Kind of a Mardi Gras sort of theme to it, where people kind of flash their tops a lot at the OTL.
Hooter Research.
It's not a kids event.
Are you sure they still do that, or was this in the 80s?
Yeah, this might have been in the 90s, possibly.
I'm
it's definitely not a family.
But
Adam says, I'm not talking about a Sunday. No, I don't want to. Oh, Hannah says I can go. Oh, okay, great.
She says, it's fine, you can go.
And then your wife said, no, thank you, please. So that means
it's usually very hot because it's like a July fry weekend.
Does that mean we have to take our shirts off and stuff?
Maybe.
This sounds like a night. I have to wear shorts. I'm out. Forget it. I'm out. Never mind.
Bathing suit, shorts.
Never mind. But maybe. We'll think about it.
All right. Still got the Rondo report coming up. We got Padres tonight against the Giants. They're doing well against the NL West so far. Knock on wood. We'll talk about that coming up. It's Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Before we get to traffic, I want to talk about SDFatLoss.com. I feel like it changed my life, and I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that everything was different after I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. Can you believe you can change your life in 60 days? I did. I didn't have to exercise. I didn't have to eat any prepackaged meals or bars, just real food from the grocery store. Even eating out restaurants, I was able to do it and still lose the weight. After that, though, I've really been able to keep the weight off. I've been able to exercise. I have more energy, so I can do that. I sleep better, less pain, almost like my back pain's gone. My knee pain has gone away. So many benefits from losing the weight. And right now, if you check it out, take advantage. Their summer special. They're keeping it going for our listeners at 97.3 The Fan. $200 off the program. Set up a free consultation, sdfatloss.com, or you can call. I'll throw out the phone number again. I haven't done that in a while. 858-665-3211. Either way, get the program started. Lose up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days. No counting points, no counting calories. Just follow their directions. Lose the weight, keep it off. Change your life like I did at sdfatloss.com. sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
It's funny when seasons don't go well, and we remember what that's like here in San Diego, 2023. You're so desperate to find like what's wrong. Who is to blame for the struggles that we thought our team was going to be really good, and they're not. Why can't they get above 500? And this year, so far, that team is the Atlanta Braves.
Well, there's been a few, right? There's a couple of those.
Well,
the Red Sox,
the Orioles.
The Orioles. The Red Sox with their Rafael Devers situation has been a nightmare for all parties involved. The Orioles situation is beyond a nightmare. Expected to do more than compete. Just finished up. They did sweep over the weekend, been their first sweep of the season so far. And I don't think it was against a very good team, if I'm not mistaken. Was it the Rockies? Was it? I can't remember. But they finally got a sweep. And so they're, I guess feeling a little bit better about themselves, but it hasn't gone well. And of course, the Braves, who were a popular pick to really get after it this year with Acuna coming back and Strider coming back. And of course, Strider's been hurt a couple of times. So it just hasn't gone well.
So the Braves, they've gotten better after their 0-7 start, but they keep kind of getting close to 500, then falling back. I think they're like 4 games under 500 right now. And they made a move over the weekend. And I don't think this is going to fix anything.
This is wild to me.
So they reassigned their third base coach, Matt Tuiasosopo. And apparently they've had 4 runners thrown out at home plate this season, including one particularly bad send in which Jaron Duran threw out Alex Verdugo on May 17th. Also had one against the Padres in the 9th inning on May 23rd.
How is that one on the third base coach who was literally telling him,
Eli White,
stop,
not go backwards.
Stop.
I mean, so is it really Tuiasa Sopo's fault that Eli White turned around and went backwards on a fly ball or on a single to center field? I don't know.
He's the one that's taking the blame for it.
So they've reassigned Matt Tuiasa Sopo, and they've hired Freddie Gonzalez back. He was the manager of that team from 2011 to 2016, making him the new third base coach going forward.
What a weird move. I saw one of our a guy I know, big Braves guy. He's like, this is the definition of making a move just to make a move. There's just no rhyme or reason really for it. But so freaked me out to no end. I didn't mean to call attention to it. Forgot it was happening. Scared me to death. So there you go. They have a new third base coach. It is Freddie Gonzalez, former manager in the organization.
I'm sorry, that's making us laugh. That was our sounder. That was our cue to call. I see people are taking it upon themselves to call 833-288-0973 to win our 4-pack of tickets to the San Diego County Fair, Wednesdays through Sundays, June 11th through July 6th at the Del Mar Fairgrounds.
Should be our sounder for everything. I'll just say it. That should be the official Ben and Woods sounder. Oh, God. I forgot it was happening, and I was like, what is he doing?
One other baseball note while the calls come in. I did see yesterday an awful announcing that Apple and NBC are now emerging as the leaders to acquire rights next season. Remember, ESPN is opting out, or MLB and ESPN are kind of ending their Sunday night baseball deal.
Fine by me.
The midweek games that ESPN does after this season.
God, I would take Sunday night baseball on Apple TV all day long.
Caveat.
What's the caveat?
As long as the D train isn't calling the games.
Dontrell Willis.
Believe he was a Dodgers broadcaster. He still might be, fill in for them, does some stuff for them. You would think, listening to him, that he's not even calling a Dodger game sometimes. All he talks about is the Dodgers.
It's disappointing.
Insane.
He was one of my favorite pitchers when he was playing. He was so fun to watch. Would love to get his insight, but
fantastic to watch.
Yeah.
To listen to, not so much.
So I didn't see any other details as to how they would divide up the content, but NBC, to me, they already do the Sunday Night Football. I don't know if that means that they couldn't do Sunday Night Baseball, or they would do Sunday Night Baseball until football season started, or something like that, because you're already used to tuning in to NBC on Sunday nights during football season.
Rob says in there, I'm not paying for that S. Yeah, I mean, I like the Apple TV broadcast. I like that we're able to switch over to the home feed. Yeah. It's really great.
Would they do it like MLS does it, where it's not Apple Plus, it's like its own separate deal. Like you have to buy within the Apple, you buy the MLB season pass for Apple to watch games.
If you could give me Dawn and Mud with the Apple TV like production and visual, I would sign up for that today.
Yeah, I would too. And I think
162 games.
Honestly, I think if it can make the Padres money, if you could, because what's the plan, right? Like, what's the TV deal going to be for the San Diego Padres? But like, if Apple TV gets involved, maybe you can make a little bit more money. I don't know. The
my guess is it's not going to be piecemeal. Apple's not going to go team by team and go, okay, you're an Apple team and you're an Apple team. At some point, the whole league
will be Apple
may
teams.
Combine together and create like a local Apple package where everyone's doing it on Apple, and that's how you get the games. But I don't think the Padres are going to negotiate their own deal with Apple at this point.
But again, if they're part of a bigger, entire thing, they get a piece of that pie.
Yes.
Because their pie right now probably isn't.
And the Padres want that. That would be good for the Padres. Mm-hmm. A national pie combined with your already great local revenues at Petco Park would turn the Padres into a financial powerhouse in baseball. They could finally compete with the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Mets, because they wouldn't have that giant advantage on local TV revenues. If you could even those out among the league, the Padres keep their advantage on, ballpark revenues, tickets, concessions, parking. That would be great for Padres baseball.
So Satan's Blowfish was a really good point. I mean, we could do an hour on this. He said it's just not realistic for the on-air talent to really know enough about a team to stimulate the audience in a meaningful way. None of them stir the audience like any of San Diego's talent. Am I insane? When we grew up, we watched Sunday Night Baseball, Ben, right? Joe Morgan and John Miller, right? For how long? They were awesome.
15 years.
They were awesome. Yeah. I never felt like I was listening to two guys that didn't know about the teams they were talking about that night.
Right. But
like
was that your team, though? When they were talking about, because when they're talking about other teams, to us, it always sounds pretty intelligent. But then when it's our team, you go, oh, they don't really know the story about your team.
I just always thought those cats have it down. Like Sunday Night Baseball, I look forward to if it was the Reds and the
I agree with Satan's Blowfish. I don't think you'll ever find a national broadcast that can ever satisfy a local fan the way your local announcers can. They just know so much about the ins and outs. You can't go spend 2 days with the team, and have the stories that Jesse and Don and Mud and Tony have about traveling with them and, and the historical perspective of the teams. You just never can match that on a national broadcast.
Kurt is right. I mean, he says it, and he's right. Sunday Night Baseball sucks now. It does, and it has gotten progressively worse.
It used to mean something.
It really did, Paulie. It really did used to mean something. It really did. And now I watch it, and it's.
But they have in-game interviews.
But Benny, it's so unlistenable almost. And I like Carl Ravitch as a human. I like David Cohn a lot as a human. About it, and the rest I just can live without. And I just don't know. I don't know what they can do. If it is Apple TV, you got to get better talent. You got to get better talent, and the talent needs to be better at their jobs.
All right, we got the Rondo Report coming up in our last segment. Paulie says he has a couple of non-sports stories for us. We will get to that. First, though, Woods and I want to tell you about Trust and Will. It's where we went during the holidays. Both of us had neglected our personal affairs. Our affairs were not in order,
correct,
as they say, Woods, but it's so easy to get your affairs in order. And I know we're speaking in euphemisms because no one really likes to face the reality that you are going to die. And it is unavoidable, but you can be prepared and have your family taken care of by taking really simple steps by going to trustandwill.com.
Yeah, please do it. I mean, go to trustandwill.com, use the code FAN when you check out. You'll get 20% off. Make sure you get the trust because you don't want your family to end up in an expensive, lengthy probate court. You lost a loved one. The last thing you want to do is haggle in court for a while. Be very clear about what your expectations are once you pass, and then you're done. You're done with it. You forget about it.
20 minutes, no lawyer's fees. You get 20% off by using the code FAN at trustandwill.com and free shipping of your estate documents. If there is an afterlife, you're going to feel real guilty when you get there and you go, I could have spent 20 minutes and saved my family a whole lot of hassle. Don't worry about it. Just go to trustandwill.com. That's trustandwill.com.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
All right, final segment of Ben and Woods. You've got Matt Scraby joining us after this program from 10 to 2. Then the Gwynn and Chris program until 5:45 when Sam Levitt joins you with the Eco Water SoCal pregame show. First pitch, 6:45, Padres and Giants. Padres are now 8-1 against NL West opponents. 5-1 against the Rockies, 3-0 against the Giants. Have yet to face the Diamondbacks or the Dodgers, who they will host for 3 games, short 3-game homestand next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at Petco Park. They're calling it Midweek Mania at Petco Park.
Okay.
When the Dodgers come to town.
I think I'm going.
My guess is that those games will be well attended. Only because every game at Petco Park is well attended.
Yeah, no kidding. Did you see the thing I retweeted last night that was pretty cool?
100% attendance?
100, yeah, it was let's see here. It was MLB attendance and capacity as of June 1st, 2025. And attendance per game, total, let's see, year over year attendance change, Padres up 5.9%. Average percent of capacity used, 100. The only team in Major League Baseball with 100% of capacity used.
Yeah.
The Dodgers, 89. The Phillies, 95. The Mets, 89. I mean, again, pretty nuts. Did you see the game last night?
Now, they get a little bonus in that they count the maximum attendance at like 39 something when you can get a lot more in Petco Park.
Hey,
so
listen, stop giving them.
Well, that's fine.
What do you go to magic shows and yell out what the guy's doing wrong? Just zip your lip. Hey, look at what he's doing there. He's got a little spring in there. He's palming it. Like, just relax. Pipe down. Hey.
Just like to be factual. I'm sorry. Not any less impressive. I'm just
we're the only team with 100%.
Pointing out the math. The factual math.
You don't have to.
Right,
you are
you
are the definition of the well actually meme. You know the well actually guy? You're yes. You are that guy. Did you see the attendance last night?
San Francisco?
No.
Oh, Miami.
Saw a video of like the lights, the get loud, the lights are flashing. There was like 14 people there.
There was
14,000? That's not bad.
No.
They said
14.
Their paid attendance, I believe, was like 4,800. I will eat a sweatshirt if there were over 4,000 people there, you guys. Wasn't it the Rockies and Marlins?
It was.
There were thousands of empty seats. And I mean tens of thousands of empty seats. Yeah, somebody said 5,800 people. No chance. No earthly chance. There were more people at the Little League, Encinitas Little League Championship game, and I'm not kidding. It was packed to the gills. That's so bad. It's so bad for baseball. I don't necessarily blame the fans either.
They were smart. Their team lost to the Rockies, and they didn't have to go watch it.
Could you imagine? Yeah. Could you imagine?
All right. Paul's got a round of report. We'll finish up with his headlines after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Still might find some slick roadways thanks to some scattered showers, light rain around parts of the county. Several accidents I got to mention here, guys. One of them on the Home Avenue off-ramp south 805 and northbound side of the 805 before Home Avenue. Accident involving a car and a box truck. They're over to the right shoulder. Traveling on southbound 125 just past the 54. There is a collision. Looks like this vehicle wound up over the left shoulder embankment. Looks like some debris in the roadway may have touched off an accident north 5 coastline just before Las Flores, not showing if lanes are blocked, and got this collision on southbound 15 before Mira Mesa Boulevard. Tow truck is on scene. It's got the slow lane blocked. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah? Oh yeah.
All right. All right.
All right. Good morning, gentlemen. I want to start off. So we've been talking quite a bit, actually, over the last week or so about a sport that we don't give a ton of airtime to. And I don't know why necessarily, because it's kind of thrilling and exhilarating at times this time of year. Talking about the College World Series for both really baseball and softball.
Yeah.
You get some incredible performances this time of year.
Softball, way better. Way better.
Softball's unbelievable.
Way better.
I think I've said it before. When I was in high school on my travel team, we got to play a 10-day tournament in June in Omaha, Nebraska. And I got to go to the College World Series, like 4 or 5 games at Rosenblatt Stadium. If your school ever goes, if you have any interest in going to see some baseball, it's so much fun. So we're almost to the World Series right now. I guess they technically call it the postseason, the World Series. I think so. In
the sectionals,
in
Go
baseball,
ahead and explain it
Super
to us.
regionals.
Yeah,
So,
there we go.
yeah.
we just finished the
64
regionals.
teams all go to regionals. 1 team advances out of each 4-team regional, which leaves you with 16. Then they do a best of 3 series, 8 versus 8, and the winners of all the super regionals, the 8 teams, go on to the College World Series in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just
And
finished
they
up the
play-
regional
when,
round.
When they play the College World Series,
Then it's a double elimination tournament
Double elim,
in
okay.
Oklahoma. Yeah.
So on the men's side, everybody is getting ready for the super regionals, which begin this weekend, which is, would you say 16?
Best of 3, 16 teams, best of 3
3
series with the 8 winners advancing.
And they will move on to Omaha. And then on the women's side, the highlight from yesterday was Texas Tech taking down Oklahoma. Now, Oklahoma was going for not 1, not 2, not the 5.
One for the thumb.
They
as
have
like
won
to say, as the
4
Sockers used to say.
straight natties. I mean, think about that. You're a senior. You won a natty every single year
So
in
badass,
college,
dude.
But they're not going to get number 5 because Texas Tech beat them yesterday. And some of the highlights, I will not lie. I have not watched a ton of either softball or baseball this season, but the highlights that I have seen, some of the plays, absolute insanity. Did you see the play in softball where the girl hit the clod of dirt in the air and the dirt exploded into the catcher's face?
So
it looked
as she was
normal
pitching,
speed.
her cleat, the dirt flew up from her cleat. The ball then hit it in the air, knocked the dirt into the catcher's eye. It was
Search softballs dirt
slow
or
motion.
something.
It was unbelievable.
In real motion, in real time, you would not have noticed anything. You're thinking, what happened to the catcher? Because it's just a normal pitch, but you see this dirt clot explode, and it gets it right in the face mask.
Went full JFK.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Jeez.
But yeah, Oklahoma was down to their
Sorry.
last out and hit a 2-run homer to tie it, but then
Good
Texas
Lord.
Tech won it.
Even I knew it was wrong when I said it.
It was pretty dramatic.
Sorry.
All right.
Did you get my 1 for the thumb reference?
Yeah.
Do you remember the music video? You weren't here.
No, but I understand what 1 for the thumb means.
I know, but they did the Sockers did a whole music video when they were going for their 5th in a row, and it was, you need to It's on YouTube somewhere, I think.
One for the thumb.
We just want one for the thumb.
I need to hear it.
Yeah, five.
You need to hear that.
5 fingers.
5 fingers.
One
One
for
for
the
the thumb.
5 championships would be.
Yeah.
Does he?
One for the
Does he
thumb.
think I'm a moron?
Yes.
Wasn't sure if that was a San Diego thing or that was known now. There's not a lot of 5-time winners of anything.
Look, I'd never heard it before, but I was able,
All right.
through using my intelligence and context clues, to put the 2 and 2 together.
How'd you do that?
All right. Sorry.
One for the thumb, everybody. Have you ever heard the phrase "rule of thumb"?
Have you ever heard the phrase "I hate you"?
Have you ever heard the phrase "Fister"? Absolutely.
Fister? Yeah, absolutely.
I swear to God, when he gets in these moods, it's my favorite. Are you familiar with what a scrum is? Yes, I know what a scrum is. Do you know what an article means? Yes, I do.
You absolute buffoon. Have you ever heard of this?
He thinks this is a moron. One for the thumb. It's catchy. I like it.
Oh,
I love it.
All right. We'll move on.
Question though, quickly. When did college baseball get, what's the word I'm looking for? So douchey. It's very out of control. I like fun. I am a fun celebrator. You hit a big bomb, pimp that ass, have a great time playing the game of baseball. But it has gotten out of control. So much so that I thought to myself, maybe I should have my kids play a different sport. Because I don't know that I'll be able to go watch them.
You don't want them to turn into that.
Paulie, with the weird different eye blacks, their shirts unbuttoned to like almost their belly button.
Every team has
open.
a guy.
Every
is
team
just
has a guy.
character.
And
Paul Skeens was kind of that guy.
No, Paul Skeens was buttoned up. He was buttoned up, but he was arrogant, but he was buttoned up in that respect, I think. But oh my God, man. I'm talking Vandy, Tennessee, the coach from Wake Forest last night calling another kid a slur. Then that kid hitting a home run and running backwards around the bases. I'm like, what is happening? It's turned into the Savannah Bananas in college baseball. Has it always been that way?
No.
I don't need, put your head down, keep your mouth shut. I don't need that. I don't have to be the military.
It's
but
weird.
I'm watching, dude, and I'm going, this is outrageous.
I think college baseball, it's always had that element of goofiness and it's just different. It's like the bridge between high school baseball and the professional levels.
Like they chant and stuff in Little League. Not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you are.
I will not do it. I'm not doing it. Paulie, I'm not doing it.
All right.
Not do it.
Finally, we will wrap up with this story. I was perusing the old prep service this morning, and I saw this one. This one made me laugh here. So there is a Chinese newspaper called Beijing Youth Daily that did a story on. I love talking about these trends. Usually they come from social media, TikTok or whatever. Yeah. They have a trend now where young people in China are paying $5 a day to pretend that they have a job. You're unemployed,
like fantasy camp,
but you go to a shared office. You don't do any work because you don't have a job. But you don't have to
cooler talk.
You don't have to explain to your friends or family like that you're unemployed at the moment. You're like, oh, I'm going to the office today. You pay $5.
$5 a day.
Now, a lot of people there are like working on their resumes and sending out. It's like for me, like especially in college, dude, I could not study at home. In my room, I had to go to the library. I had to go to a coffee shop, get out of the house, and like force myself to get some work done. So people are doing that with their resumes.
It's like one of those work share places,
collective workspaces.
Exactly.
But they don't actually work. They just sit there. We're already done.
We're done.
Right.
Maybe we can carry this over to.
They have Wi-Fi for you.
It's possible.
If you pay extra, you can get in a fight with your fake boss.
Oh, I do that anyway.
For free.
For free.
All right, we're done.
That's it.
Scraby's coming up next. We will join tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for Paul Reindl and Stephen Woods. I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. From all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.